Good day, namaskar, salam sajatra, shaba al khair, ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome everyone. My name is Jacinta and I will be your MC for today. American novelist John Gardner has famously said, whoever I am and whatever I am doing, some kind of excellence is within my reach. I speak for everyone here when I say these words by Gardner are an inspiration and motivation at Global Schools Foundation. We all always believed that excellence is within our reach since we started our journey nearly 20 years ago. And here we are today on this platform, celebrating our journey through the sweat and hard work of many. So welcome to the very first Global Excellence Day celebration, an initiative by Global Center for Education Excellence. A day when we look back with pride on our achievements and look into the future with hope and determination for many more milestones to cross. There is another quote that stands true for us at GSF. A superior leader is a person who can bring ordinary people together to achieve extraordinary results. This idea, when adopted to GSF ecosystem, translates into providing students with a holistic educational framework by embracing the best industry frameworks and practices alongside technology. And with the same idea in mind, he has changed the way parents look at education today. I would like to call upon our chairman and co-founder, Mr. Atul Temunikar, to share his thoughts.
A very warm welcome to our esteemed judges, young participants, teachers, and parents. I am deeply honored and excited to be here amongst you today to officially open the very prestigious Global Excellence Day 2020. 18 years ago, on 18 September 2002, the Global Schools Foundation launched its first school in Singapore. So when the GSF team suggested that we should organize a Global Excellence Day or GED 2020 along with the Founders Day, it was perhaps the most appropriate way to say a big thank you to all our co-founders and to honor them for their exemplary and valuable advice and suggestions. The first idea of excellence actually came a decade ago through a very casual conversation we had with our patron, Mr. Narayana Murthy, who asked, how do we know our school is a good school? He suggested we should find a way to have independent assessments of our schools by independent people so that they can tell us how they can rate the schools. And this led to our massive benchmarking journey with Malcolm Baldrige model of excellence from USA, which is like the mother of all national and international excellence models. Just like the famous singer Tina Turner asked through one of her songs, what's love got to do with it? Similarly, many parents keep asking, what's excellence got to do with their child's results when we are only concerned about our child's well-being? But little do they know that their child's results have a direct but complex linkages to the quality of school. And this is directly linked to the education excellence the school has achieved, which is not publicly published, but has an integral role in every single child's the learning results and the learning outcomes. The simple answer is, it's got to do with the leadership, plain and simple. And let me tell you how these two are interconnected. The best leaders are probably the best problem solvers. And conversely, a weak problem solver isn't the best leader. We define quality circles equals to excellence, equals to leadership. Excellence is often misconstrued as, oh, it is about becoming number one. But no, it is not. Excellence is about doing the right things at the right time. And when you do this repeatedly, then there is a high probability that you will end up being one of the top performers. Leadership, as many of you know, be it industry or any other job or any business, has a strong demand for people who demonstrate good skills in troubleshooting and problem solving. The funny part is, this happens regardless of the level you operate in an organization or in a business. Whether you are at the bottom edge of the pyramid, or you are in the middle of the pyramid, or you are at the top of the pyramid, say a director or a CEO or even a minister, the problem solving requirement never leaves you. It's like permanently glued to your life. And people who identify as the one with good problem solving skills are always in very big demand. The problem could be linked to people, linked to machines, to software, to processes, to systems, or to anything. So if you young students of grade 4 to 12, if you want to train yourself to be a good and effective leader, then all you have to do is to master this technique of problem solving. You can do problem solving on your own in any area, singly, or do problem solving in a team. And that is called the quality circle. Usually, the quality circle is the hardest part to operate under, because here you deal with people of emotions, of feelings, which are largely dependent on the moods or situation the people are in, and for which there are no ready-made prescriptions. So one could explain in a very simple way, PRSC. P is for problem, R is for root cause, S is for a solution, and C is for change. Now, if you train and experience this PRSC, then you can solve any problem in the world, however complex it may be. The first major hurdle is to find out what is the problem. It is not rocket science, it's plain common sense. But you find some people will find it very hard to realize and to identify the problem. Either they can't find it or they can't articulate it properly. Okay, next, once you have articulated the problem, you need to find the root cause. What is the underlying issue that is causing this problem? Like our friendly doctors normally ask you, they will ask you many questions when you visit the doctor. They are basically doing the root cause analysis. Now, once that hurdle is crossed, one needs to identify a solution, simple or complex. That may be straightforward or involve a combination of solutions, and fix the problem at its root. Now, finally, when the solution is to be implemented, one needs to understand that these implementations may not be doable directly or may not be acceptable to the people. So you need to do the change management of the people, of the technology, and ensure the solution fits well and provides a cure required. In a nutshell, is all about what people do, what managers do, what doctors do, or what CEOs do. Take a problem, find a root cause, find a solution, and manage the change. What is the best part is that the GSF schools have embedded this very important personality trait into its mainstream pedagogy. And in the 9 Gems holistic model under the Entrepreneurship and Leadership Development Initiative. Excellence for us is not just limited to our students scoring good grades, but it is for offering a wholesome and experiential learning experience, which will benefit each one of you for life. A school experience that will help the students realize their dreams. We have undertaken a number of pioneering efforts in many areas to constantly upgrade our educational offerings. Whether it is introducing a new educational program or a path-breaking program or a path-breaking technology in the classroom, we procure some of the best solutions for our students, which will make them more productive. Ultimately, it all has to add up to an enhanced learning experience and better learning outcomes for each one of you. Global Excellence Day holds a great significance for GSF because excellence is the force behind nurturing a global citizen. It is not just a name or a slogan. And I must say, the contributions of the GCE team have been extremely valuable in our goal of delivering high quality education to our students. We have been recognized for our path breaking initiatives and adapting the best practices in education. It is for their efforts that GSF schools have received over 156 awards within a span of 12 years from very prestigious organizations around the world. I have been watching the Quality Circle presentations over the last 2 days by young students from around the world. I feel they are doing a brilliant job and onto a journey that will create a very solid foundation and set them apart from their other colleagues and make them better performers. And this is just a small example of the futuristic approach that we adopt in our School of the Future education. Just as the GIS student, Ms. Kanika Gakar, made GIS and her entire country proud with her recent successful mission of the SpaceX launch, I can see the future will have many of you become highly capable leaders and make your parents proud, your communities proud, and most importantly, your countries proud. My best wishes to all the participants of today and yesterday and at the Global Excellence Day 2020. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atul, for your encouraging words and always driving us towards excellence. Global Schools Foundation has had the good fortune of getting support and advice from some of the best minds in the world. One such esteemed personality is GSF Board President, Ambassador Aftab Seth. Ambassador Seth is our most precious asset, who strongly believes in education beyond boundaries and no child left behind. And as President, he has been a strong pillar of support and advice. Health would not permit him to attend today's session, but he has been kind enough to send his good wishes through a message. Ambassador Kesavapani has a long and colorful history of serving Singapore's diplomatic corps since its early years as an independent nation. He is also the Vice President of GSF and would like to share his warm wishes too. Tan Sri Dato Sri Muhammad Hussain, who sits on prestigious financial boards across Malaysia and has also been felicitated by state rulers, is also the Vice President of GSF and also sends his best wishes on this day. Congratulations to Global Schools Foundation. The culture of excellence which is paramount at GSF is the key to its success and achievements in such a short time. Wishing all the best to GSF in the ongoing journey of excellence in education. My heartfelt congratulations to the Global Schools Foundation. GSF's persistent efforts to create a stimulating educational environment for its students have paid off well. Its innovative steps towards achieving excellence in education affirms its place as a leader among schools across the world. All the best forever. Congratulations to GSF for having come a long way in this journey of success. I applaud GSF schools for being trendsetters in offering holistic education and providing students with best means to facilitate their growth and success. All the best to the entire GSF fraternity. Some great words of encouragement from our board members. Thank you, sirs. I now have the pleasure to introduce to you our jury members for today's event. We welcome among us 4 esteemed personalities from the world of quality and excellence. Mr. Shailesh Godekar carries a rich experience of 28 years in field of quality management systems. He is a trained lead assessor of IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj National Quality Award and has been awarded the IMC RBNQA Certificate of Excellence thrice for his leadership expertise. He also has been honored with the Innovative Leadership in Quality and 50 Most Impactful Quality Professionals by the World Quality Congress. Welcome, Mr. Shailesh.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, all. I'm Shailesh Godekar, Global Corporate Quality Head for Marico, an Indian MNC which is into beauty and wellness. It's an honor to be the jury member for Global School Foundation on this Global Excellence Day, which is being celebrated today on their 20th anniversary year of founding. I always admire Global School Foundation for their commitment to excellence over the years. I always believe that excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. The roots gets ingrained the day you put your first step in the school, and it gets built up over the years. From there onwards, it's up to that individual to develop a passion for continuous learning. If you do it, you will never cease to grow. I look forward for the exciting presentations which has been scheduled today and wishing each team best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Shailesh Godekar, for your time and being part of the event today. Vince Lombardi said, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." Our next judge, Mr. Darshan Singh, has been involved with the Business Excellence Initiative in Singapore since its launch in 1994. The initiative aims to help enhance the quality of organizations in Singapore for growth and organizational sustainability. He is the Principal Assessor, Business and Service Excellence Enterprise, Singapore. Welcome, Mr. Darshan Singh.
Thank you. Warm greetings from Singapore. Your school in Singapore is a strong advocate of organizational excellence and has been participating in our National Business Excellence Initiative. The school has been awarded the Singapore Quality Class Star. This is a prestigious national recognition for organizations who have excellent management practices, are committed to continuous improvement, and exhibit sustainable business performance. Team activities that you are participating in are essential for excellence. These activities, as you know, help students to learn, grow, contribute by working together as team players to take ownership in resolving key problems. Such activities also help students to maximize their potential, which is what excellence is all about. I would like to wish all of you all the best on your excellence journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Darshan Singh, for your time and being part of the event. Next, we have Ms. Suman Pai with us. As a faculty member of the IMC Quality Cell, I'm training professionals on the Malcolm Baldrige criteria for the Certified Examiner of Quality Management course. She continues to conduct assessments for the RBNQA award applications and provide guidance on this performance excellence model. Ms. Suman Pai is a trainer, writer, and a speaker. Margaret Fuller said, "If you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it." Miss Suman lets others light their candles with her flames and is passionate about sharing her knowledge and loves working and interacting with people. Welcome, Miss Suman Pai.
Thank you, Jacinta, for that warm introduction. And thank you, Ratin and team GSF, for giving me this opportunity to be a judge on your Global Excellence Foundation Day. First of all, I think that all of you students are privileged. The GISS students are privileged. And especially after I have seen what, your various presentations at IMC, I have also visited some of your schools. I truly believe, as your founder, Mr. Temunikar, said, that GISS schools provides holistic learning experience to all the students. And what is that privilege that you get? You become globally competitive. And it is never more evident than when you see all these presentations on the quality circles projects, problem solving projects that you have done. So I wish you all the best. And I look forward to interacting with you all after each of your presentations. And thank you, Jacinta.
Thank you, Ms. Suman Pai, for your time and being part of our event today. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude. That is what our next jury member, Mr. Kunjuman, has. He has an attitude of excellence. With his experience in multiple functions of business excellence, he has focused on process improvements through ISO certifications, quality circles, 5S, Six Sigma, and business excellence model assessments. He is also an assessor for RBNQA and GPEA. Mr. Kunjumon is a senior consultant with an oil company based in Muscat, Oman. Welcome, Mr. Kunjumon.
Good morning to all of you. Before I introduce myself further, let me take this opportunity to congratulate GSF on their Foundation Day when they celebrate Global Excellence Day. I retired last year from one of the 500 Fortune companies of the world, Bharat Petroleum Corporation, as a general manager. It was a wonderful journey there, and you may be wondering what is my association with business excellence process. 8 years I was heading the business excellence group of Mumbai refinery of Bharat Petroleum, where there are more than 2,200 employees. It was a wonderful journey for me. The job includes implementation of various quality tools, 5S, quality circles, business excellence assessment models, Six Sigma, etc. Thereby, showing a lot of improvement in the operation of the refinery. I am an assessor with the IMC RBNQA, and most of my assessments were with educational institutions, and that was a privilege for me actually. It's a great honor for me to be a part of GSF. Thank you for inviting me as a jury. Let me wish the participating team all the very best, and looking forward to a pleasant and learning occasion for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kunjumon, for your time and being part of the event today. Now, I would like to request our Country Director for Singapore and Deputy COO for Global Schools Foundation, Mr. Rajiv Katiyar, to give his thoughts.
I'm very happy and proud to know that the Global Schools Foundation is celebrating the Global Excellence Day in September 2020. The Global Schools Foundation is a 20-year-old school chain with 20 schools in 7 countries and is growing rapidly in terms of number of students in schools. However, all through, it has been dedicated to the path of excellence, innovation, and new processes. For example, the use of 7S and data analytics in academics, the use of sports technology like SPIDAs in sports, the use of digital classrooms, and the latest breakthroughs made in virtual classrooms through the use of Zoom technology for every one of its schools in the world. The Global Schools Foundation has been a pathbreaker. It has won over 150 awards in the area of quality. It's the most highly awarded school in the world. And also its teachers and students participate in various quality circle initiatives and win numerous awards. It's my wish and that of everybody in Global Schools Foundation that this chain of school continues to break new paths in the area of excellence, processes, innovation, and new initiatives. And I wish Global Schools Foundation and the entire set of schools in the foundation a great excellence day.
Those were some excellent words of wisdom from Mr. Katiyar. Now, without further ado, let's begin the proceedings. Only with quality people, quality products can be produced and quality services can be delivered. Quality people are those with good and smart characters. Schools are character-building organizations. and students are the real products of the organization. By introducing quality circles among young students, GCEE develops their leadership and personality for when they grow and work in the future. GCEE strongly believes that the Students' Quality Circle exercise ultimately develops the personality of young students. Today, we have 6 awards categories to be given away: the best presenter, the best presentation, the best topic, the silver award, the gold award, and the platinum award. And these are a culmination of the student projects. When you're pushed to the wall, you have to develop strategies to scale over the wall. Today, the seniors of GIS campuses will show us how they have addressed the problems and set action plans to make life easier. At a time when resources are stretched and demands upon everyone is increasing, our Malaysia campus offers students the opportunity to learn from each other. Here they are with their presentation.
Salam Sejahtera to our dear judges. It is truly a pleasure to be presenting this topic to you all. I'm one of the 3 members of this team, and my name is Karu Julian. Andy Stanley once said that stop looking for solutions to problems and start looking for the right path. And that leads us to talking about a problem which has a major impact in its causes and solutions. Our project is entitled Silent Students Are Left Behind in Virtual Classrooms. We are the senior category from the Global India International School, Malaysia. What refers to the silent students that are left behind in virtual classrooms? Where? In online or virtual classrooms? Why? As it affects the students' moral. Who? The students, parents, and teachers. When? Since late March 2020, when online or virtual classes began. How? By brainstorming and by having quality circles to identify, analyze, and solve the problems. We shortlisted a few problems and found number 1 as the most critical. We named this project Alpha, or Assisted Learning to Promote Higher Achievement, because we learned that the students' grades began to drop drastically, which definitely was no good. The students were noticed to not have gained as much knowledge compared to others, and hence, it was concluded as the key problem we wanted to address. By brainstorming the problems which are most concerning, we voted, and also feedback from the teachers like silent students not responding in virtual classrooms, few students not being able to cope up with their classwork. They noticed a dip in the grade of students during assessments. The project was finally selected to understand, give assistance, and guidance to those who were affected during the virtual classroom. After verbal surveys, questionnaires, and focus groups, it was recognized as a problem by teachers and fellow classmates that felt that these silent students were not contributing enough to the work or had not retained enough knowledge at all. Students were found sleeping, which we thought as the student being silent during the online lesson and missing lessons.
The tools used in order to find the possible causes were done using 2 methods of analysis. These tools were used as they provided concise information without it being a hassle to anyone involved. Brainstorming also took place. Reports and surveys were conducted. With the surveys, we could get to know students' opinions and their primary reasoning. The reports were given by teachers who kept track of the number of participants in the class. Analysis of surveys were done. A discussion was also held. Questionnaires were filled out by students. These questionnaires were aimed to focus on particular issues and not general problems or feelings of students. Focus groups were also created. This was done to identify the main cause and to see how many students suffer from the same problems. A cause and effect analysis was done, which involved a fishbone diagram that listed the possible causes for the problem in different situations or locations. A psychological analysis was also done where questions were asked to the student, which helped conclude the causes. The final root causes were determined by many factors, which were gathered by discussions with the teachers. We also used a root cause analysis, which helped to identify the root causes of the problem, which made it simpler to understand and find solutions for. The team had validated the root causes by questioning the students with the problem, whether or not they were true and related to them. We then made a bar chart to see which causes were mentioned most often. Students were finally able to complete their assignment as they were able to understand the instructions and were motivated to do their work on time, instead of procrastinating. The students also participated actively in the interactive classroom, which helped in the development of solutions. We analyzed each problem and noted the probable causes. Hence, to tackle these issues, we have done research, brainstormed a list of solutions, and the methods of implementation. Some solutions we came up with were clarify instructions, provide resources in advance, record lessons, specify required resources. We identified using research materials such as LinkedIn. A discussion was also held. We brainstormed solutions based on few factors that we felt were necessary to take into consideration. As this issue was evident from the behavior of the students, we wanted a quick but efficient solution, as GIIS School takes mental health and time management of students very seriously. We sought for solutions that were mentally uplifting and beneficial to the students.
Allowing all students to participate in activities helped them overcome their fear. Based on this research, we found students often get motivated by their best friend. Hence, we use this sentiment to our advantage by encouraging students to look out for anyone and speak out to their fellow classmates. We also took into consideration how students feel about themselves and made solutions based on the fact that the students should be happy and well looked after. We also wanted students to be well prepared for their classes, and providing the resources beforehand is the best way to overcome the issue faced. How did we implement Alpha and get results? We found that both teachers and students faced challenges, and our goal was to provide solutions that would benefit both parties. The teachers felt that the technology provided was too advanced for them. Teachers weren't able to help those who couldn't attend. Students were afraid to voice out and remain silent. Students also faced technical issues that interrupted the lessons. We found simple solutions for both teachers and students. Motivational talks and discussions to cope up with online classes. Usage of simple applications with easy instructions to follow. More interactive sessions would allow students to speak up and eliminate their fears. Students had to record their progression and understanding for a certain topic. Therefore, the teacher now had the ability to monitor, control, and correct the students. We got both tangible and intangible results. Tangible results showed vast improvement in attendance, handing in homework, and as well as average test grades in each level. If a student was seen participating often, the teachers graded him on his activity marks accordingly. Our intangible results were students felt uplifted when they got recognized by their teachers. Students felt great to be a part of a class where peers helped them in time of need. There was a willingness to participate by students. All these intangible results showed that our attempt to help those silent students who were left behind has created a positive impact on their morale and participation skills. These results were shared with the cross-functional team by the class teachers or respective subject teachers in various methods. This helped us conclude that the solutions were working. We hope to expand Alpha to junior classes too and continue even when we come back to the physical class. We are happy that we got this wonderful opportunity to present. We hope that everyone has learned something new and beneficial. Terima kasih from Malaysia.
Wonderful presentation by Team Malaysia. I request Mr. Shailesh Godekar and Mr. Darshan Sikh to take over the question answer session.
Thank you for your presentation. Good. My question to the Team Malaysia is, the solution which you have recommended, how do you make it sustainable? I heard you saying that it will be passed on to the junior classes, but different classes from grade 4 to grade 2 will have different type of students. So how do you make it sustainable? The solution which you have.
So I suggest that each classes can be analyzed and the solutions can be made based on the problems they face. Each class has a different problem and all the students are not the same. So we have to focus on their problems and try to find solutions based on that problem.
Yes, sir. To add to that, well, we all know that every student, everyone actually has a different mindset, and everything has a different effect to each person. So what we'll have to do is first we'll have to analyze those classes and the students to know what kind of problems they're facing and what kind of solutions will have positive effects to them, and then we can have sustainable solutions.
Okay, thank you. Darshanji, over to you.
Okay. Selamat petang. Semua ada baik?
Yes, sir. Selamat
Yeah.
petang.
Selamat petang.
Okay, all right. Very good presentation. My first question is basically how many classes and how many students were covered in your efforts to identify these silent students?
Well, sir, actually, we analyzed most of the classes, like most of the senior classes which were attending the virtual classrooms. So we could say that we analyzed year 7 to year 11, which is basically 5 years.
4.
Year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. And in your surveys covered how many
Standards.
students? And your surveys covered how many students?
We found out that each class has about 15 to 20 students. So we'll say about I would like to average it to around 100.
Okay.
Around
Just
100
one more question from my side. Basically, what were the root causes that you all identified?
The root causes that we identified were that students were not confident enough to speak out to the teachers, or some of them had technical difficulties, or few of the students didn't even want to uh, attend these classes. So we found out each of these problems by asking them or by finding out and analyzing each root cause.
Anyone has anything
Yes,
else?
sir. And
add?
also to add to that, other root causes that include were that teachers were not aware of the situation at home. Teachers were not able to check or communicate privately with the student. The student had been influenced to be silent. The student could have been intimidated by someone, or no one is present to monitor the student regularly, or inadequate amount of concentration. The student doesn't receive any attention, or also the student is shy to converse. It could be any one of them, but those were the root causes that we listed down and identified.
Okay, thank you. Shailesh
Thank you.
ji, any questions? Yeah.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, judges and Team Malaysia. Team Surat talks about innovation and creativity during online classes and their solutions to enhance it. Here they are with their presentation.
Good morning, one and all present here. We are the team Edusmart from GIS Surat. I am Mr. Jomon. Along with me, Mr. Praveen, Master Rom, Miss Kanishka. Our school is student focused with core values as trust, respect, honesty, teamwork, and of course, holistic development of students. Quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent efforts. With this note, we started our QC work from 12th August. By the method of brainstorming and mind map, we selected our project Lack of Creativity and Innovation in Virtual Classes.
Lack of creativity and innovation is a problem. First, it lies among the students. And why is this not taking place? First, transition from regular classes to the virtual classes. Students miss their peer group and it's fun, and so on. And the stakeholders of this problem are students, teachers, parents, and management. And when this takes place, no physical classes to show their talent and not having enough opportunities equipped. And how did this adversity took place? First, lack of interest in virtual classes and second, fear of health issues due to the prolonged use of digital gadgets.
In our first meeting, we identified 5 problems on the basis of current situation and the lack of interest in students towards the virtual classes by brainstorming. The problems are lack of reading skills, lack of life skills, inefficient learning process, and so on. After identification of all problems, we have categorized them into 3 parts as shown in the pie chart. We, the QC members, ranked all problems on the 10-point scale under the 3 criteria, and it was found that lack of creativity and innovation ranked 1. So, we took this problem for our case study.
The tools used for finding possible causes are first, stratification of data with a fishbone diagram, or well known as Ishikawa. For the analysis of the identification of the possible causes, for the final problem, we have classified it into 4 categories. First, students. Laziness, lack of regular supervision, less practicals, and joint class late. Second, teachers. Overloaded with work, concerned only with syllabus, conventional method, and not approachable. Third, parents. No time for children, no motivation and focus on academics only. Fourth, network issues. Reduces focus of students, device issues, and poor connectivity.
To find the final root cause, we collected data from students and parents by the method of questionnaire. From the collected data, we prepare Pareto analysis and Pareto diagram for final root cause. From this, we came to know that lack of interest and lack of practical knowledge in students are the main root cause. This root cause is validated by brainstorming, discussion with teachers, coordinator, and principal.
After the validation of final root causes, the solutions were furnished. First, develop thinking beyond bookish knowledge. Second, program development that enhanced the creativity of students. Third, organizing co-scholastic activities. Fourth, use of various e-learning materials like Tata Classes, OLabs, etc. How they were identified? First, suggestions from parents, teachers, students, and management were taken in concern. Second, assessing work of students. Criteria used in selecting the final solutions are first, data analysis, second, practicality, and third, relevance.
By the method of brainstorming, we got the final solutions, which are first, group discussions through video conference, second, use of multimedia, third, speech or blog writing, and fourth, virtual practicals through OLabs. We have identified the solutions on the following basis. First, relevant to current situation. Second, ideal for virtual classes. Third, students are familiar with the multimedia. And fourth, students will be turned to more self-reliant.
Challenges faced and how were they addressed? First, less participation was changed into counseling students and one-to-one talk with their parents. Network issues were fixed by keeping an alternative connection. Inadequate tools were changed into supplying sufficient resources, and so on. Our implementation plan was first, discussion with management regarding implementation plan and taking suggestions from them. Second, arranging debates or speeches. Third, making videos on activities in which they are interested. Life skills period is arranged once in a week. Student is to be provided with chance to speak on a particular topic daily.
After the implementation of our plan, we achieved the following results. Tangible results are attendance increased, participation increased in competitions, performance of students in exam also improved, turnout in creative activities. Intangible results, enthusiasm and interest have been increased, appreciation from parents, self-confidence of students increased, and students started discussing regularly about different topics. The results were shared with the cross-functional team in the following way. Teachers analyze students' skills to solve problems, and then the results have been shared with the management and parents.
Activities like debates, quizzes, riddles, elocution have conducted in our school to enhance creativity and innovation in virtual classes. As quality circle have been done, we found some better changes with the students after the implementation. Now, in virtual classes, students become more attentive than before. Before implementation, some students' academic performance was low, now it is improved. Now we are having 100% attendance in virtual classes and students use artistic talent. After implementation of this program, many students get encouraged, and now they are enthusiastic to take part in all activities. Maximum students participated in class activities, and parents are giving good feedback about the performance of students. Thanks for giving wonderful chance to my team.
That was impressive, Team Surat. I now request Mr. Shailesh Godekar and Mr. Darshan Singh to take over the question answer session.
Yeah, thank you, Jacinta. Good presentation, Team Surat. My one question to the team is creativity and innovation as a topic which you have chosen. Okay, how do you, and I could see some results, a shift which has happened in a defined. It has increased from 40 to 50, 60 to 70. How do you take it higher? That metric which you have defined as a success, how do you take it ahead?
May I answer, please?
Yeah, please.
Actually, this was the meter that shown the result that was shown to us, that was shown in the PPT. That was after, from a long period, after the implementation plan we have done, and these were the results we have got. So now if we continue with the same process, so slowly and gradually the students will pay more attention to the activities done in the classes, and the activities would not only be the activities related only to their subject titles or subject, but that would enhance their personality traits. So some or the other times they would show their interest on like what are the activities done in the class. So they would show their interest, and slowly and gradually the meter scale would get increased, and slowly and more gradually the teachers would get more activities because the students are now showing interest. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
Darshan.
you. Yes, thank you for the good presentation. My question is very basic. Could you share with us your understanding of creativity and innovation? What is creativity and innovation in your context?
May I answer?
Yes, yes, please do. Please feel free to answer. Anybody can answer.
Yes, sir. Creativity and innovation is something that helps students to gain extra knowledge other than that provided in their books. This creativity and innovation can help them in the future time. These are the skills or the values that help them to understand the basic things in the life that are taking place. Many ups and downs came in the life, but due to the creativity and innovation, any person can handle these ups and downs very easily. So creativity and innovation can be termed like some valuable skills helps us understand his life and solve the problem that comes in his life properly.
Okay, thank you. Another question, what were the different virtual life skill programs that were introduced?
Actually, may I answer? The different life skill programs was that as in our implementation plan, we had life skill classes for the students. So in that life skill classes itself, the teacher who was trying to teach them, she or he made many activities like telling them and showing some videos. As we all know, many of the people show the motivational videos and everything, but just showing them would not be the easy way. So the teachers or the guardian make them do activities on the basis of life skills to explain them and to guide them. The other activities for life skills were many of the presentation activities which let them gain their self-confidence. So with that also they gain self-confidence, and one of the traits get increased, and one of the traits help them to be more confident in the other areas in future.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Shailesh ji.
Thank you.
Anything?
Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you, team.
Thank you, team. Thank you.
Thank you, judges and Team Surat. Tokyo took up the problem of safety, not only physical safety, emotional safety, but also online safety. Next up are the Crusaders of Tokyo, who managed to break the chain.
Hello, my name is Ranjan Nozaki. Today, my friends Anushka, Avantika, Arya, and I are here to share with you our quality circle titled Break the Chain Crusaders. The problem identified is physical, emotional, and cyber safety of students and their community during pandemic times and beyond. Japan was one of the first countries affected by COVID due to its proximity to China.
As the pandemic grew bigger and bigger, consequences arose. Industries collapsed, businesses shut down, and entire countries spiraled into chaos.
With nowhere else to go, we were forced to stay at home for our safety. But we were still in danger, not only from the coronavirus, but from the internet.
To combat these tough times, my friends and I, the Crusaders, are doing everything in our power to improve the lives of those around us. If we can ensure the safety of our community, we can rid this pandemic once and for all.
We used three major scientific methods to identify the problem. 1. Brainstorming with the student council members and the teachers. 2. Performing an online verbal survey. 3. Shortlisting the problem using the nominal group technique. We finalized Break the Chain Crusaders as our quality circle project due to its relevance and impact on our day-to-day lives.
We looked into the various causes which brought the risk of safety. This included the risks of physical, emotional, as well as cyber platforms. They were broadly categorized as caused from various elements including us students, our parents, school environment, visitors, public community places, and cyber platforms. These elements independently or together led to safety issues.
We used the Pareto analysis, which states that 80% of the positive effects are due to 20% of the actions. In the case of physical safety, risks can be controlled by consistently following social distancing, wearing masks, following coughing etiquette as to sneezing on the sleeves, washing our hands properly, and sanitizing surfaces frequently.
Similarly, in the case of cyber risks, practices like spreading cybercrime awareness, following internet safety, and monitoring by adults resulted in 80% of the positive effects. We went ahead with the list of possible solutions, which included awareness, monitoring, volunteering, as well as socially responsible activities. We also did a survey to find out which area needs more focus. We found that most of the solutions need to be focused on awareness and volunteering. Based on this, we designed our solution methods.
To make a difference towards a safer community was to A. Create awareness among students and parents, both for physical and cyber safety aspects. Hence, we the Crusader team conducted online orientations. Since they were mainly online, the same platform was used to convey awareness to our parents as well. Many of our parents are Japanese, and hence our team members did online translations of the awareness sessions live.
B. Monitor that safety systems are followed by all students. For ensuring physical safety, our Crusader team monitored all students maintain physical distancing and ensured that all of them wear masks and face shields at all times. For monitoring cyber safety, we discussed with our teachers and ensured that cyber hygiene is followed by every student. This included simple tasks like logging off completely after using various online links, not responding to stranger talks, and so on.
C. Volunteer by helping our teachers and support staff. For physical safety, this included volunteering for cleaning and sanitizing premises once the school partially opened. And for cyber safety, volunteering by teaching peers and juniors individually how to follow cyber hygiene.
D. Socially responsible activities included making masks and donating to the society to fight against COVID for physical safety. Similarly, for cyber safety, we discussed with our teachers together, and we are in a process of adding a cyber safety curriculum in our school, which shall be eventually shared to other sister schools.
Awareness sessions started from pre-primary, primary through secondary grades. For many of them, they had not even heard of pandemic. Yes, it was challenging at first as many of them were young and maintaining safe habits needed constant reminders. Also, they needed to be educated with digital technology. Many parents were not fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Student volunteers and teachers had discussions and live chats to make them ready for the changing times. This also included technical teaching as how to use Zoom for remote learning. The Crusader team gave online presentations to community members through social media. For monitoring aspects, our vigilant team ensured that physical distancing was followed at all times, including walking around hallways and sitting in classrooms. It was our duty to check the students walk around with masks and face shields throughout. Our team, along with the consent of teachers, came up with the special timetable for washroom breaks so that washrooms remain less crowded.
We are happy that our Crusader team has done significant contributions to ensure school safety. Ever since we opened our school back in June, with students coming in, there have been no cases of COVID. No parents or teachers were tested positive in our school families till now. We have been able to incorporate good physical, emotional, and cyber habits to peers and to adjust with the new normal.
A highlighted activity of our team was to make reusable masks from cloth. Our friends from many classes made the masks by their own hands, and we have arranged to donate them to doctors at a nursing home in Japan. We chose nursing homes specifically as they are in the front line of COVID fight and the most vulnerable. This way, our little hands work towards the noble cause.
Another highlight of the event was that with the constant help of our fellow Crusaders, we were able to maintain the mental well-being of our friends. The Crusader team had set up a WhatsApp call group where any student could call us and we would offer help in terms of technical aspects of e-learning, as well as emotional issues they face at any point. We are proud that, with all our efforts, we were able to have our school sessions, including virtual assemblies, online student elections, sports day, house activities, and so on, even in this uncertain situation. Very recently, we conducted our Teachers' Day virtually.
We continue our crusade, for this is not the end, but only the beginning of sailing against the tide.
Thank you for listening to us, and we are open to questions.
Good job, Team Tokyo. I'm sure the judges will agree. I request Mr. Shailesh Godekar and Mr. Darshan Singh to take over the question answer session.
Good presentation, Team Tokyo. My question to the Team Tokyo is, you have chosen physical safety, basically physical safety as one of the action, and I'm sure behavior change plays a very important role in the physical safety. So how do you manage this, overcome this challenge of this behavior change? Because if someone has to tell that you have to use a mask, you have to wash your hands, it's more a behavioral change. So how did you manage this challenge? How did you overcome this challenge?
Thank you for this question, sir. Actually, since we are mature now, the seniors, so we know how to do it. So we try to spread awareness and try to show the younger children what they can learn from us. And we try to, keep repeating to, maintain social distancing or sanitizing their hands at regular intervals, wearing masks at all times. So even though there were problems, they weren't willing to listen. But once you keep doing something over and over, then you learn. You see someone doing it, you learn. So I believe that because we are seniors, they could like see what we were doing, and over a period of time, they learned how to cope with those things.
Okay. What was the biggest challenge in this entire project?
There
These are the team you
quite
faced
a
it.
few. First one would be as you mentioned, sir. Like, it was a new normal. So, like it took time for everyone to digest the fact that we won't be coming here like regularly, or we won't be meeting our friends, or so that feeling that they took, like we took time to adjust to this. But as I mentioned, we seniors understood that, and therefore they were able to like see us and copy. And another thing was the technical issues. But at school, we ensured that we've got better equipment so that online classes will be held better, in a better manner.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Darshanji.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the good, clear presentation. Could you, share with us briefly how did you identify the root causes of this problem?
So, thank you for the question, sir. So we had this. We started asking questions. Why and how can what can be done, and then we used the fishbone diagram, and we understood that the main problems would be to maintaining social distancing, or how to we have never experienced this kind of situation before. So we understood that through the fishbone diagram, that we understood the people who would contribute, like the groups of people who are contributing to this who could contribute to this problem, and then the various problems like the lack of social distancing, not in sanitizing hands at proper intervals, not wearing masks at all times. So through the fishbone diagram, we understood that visitors coming to the school, or the parents, students, teachers, there were many, like everyone was going to be affected. So through the fishbone diagram, we listed out all the possible causes, as I mentioned before, and we did overcome all the problems.
May I add something?
Yes. Yes, please do. Yeah.
Along with finding all these causes, when we had to finalize one cause, we zeroed into COVID safety and cyber safety, because along with the pandemic, that has caused us to use the internet a lot more than we already have. So because of this, a lot of the people, a lot of our friends, classmates, and fellow students, even teachers, are more prone to cyber attacks. That's why we feel that this cause is one of the most prevalent in these times and can really benefit all of us.
Okay, thank you. My next question is on the local community members. You spoke about the local community members as your target group. Who are these local community members, and how did you ensure that the reusable masks meet the safety requirements for these local community members? And how many of these community members received the mask, and what was their feedback?
Thank you for the question, sir. So as we mentioned in the presentation, we have actually made masks, purely handmade, and currently we have they're sealed and they're safe. And currently we were having exams, so we weren't able to donate it, but we have made it a point. We are going to make it sure that by the end of this month we will be donating it to the nearby nursing home. And we chose this, as mentioned, we chose this because the doctors, the nurses, they are the ones fighting against COVID. They are the front line. So their safety is, we consider it to be of the utmost importance. So we have chosen the nursing home, and we will be donating the masks by the end of this month.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Team Tokyo.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges and Team Tokyo. It requires enormous courage to face the global public health crisis rationally. Excuses, rhetoric, and groundless blaming do no good at all and only bring consequences. Team Ahmedabad show us actions will make a difference.
Good morning to honorable jury members, distinguished panelists, respected principals, dear teachers, and the entire global Indian family. On this day, when we are celebrating the excellence of all the schools in their unique stride, we are here to represent GIS Ahmedabad on the Global Excellence Day.
GIS Ahmedabad were closed, and as a leading educationist, the management and the teachers now facing the black present for their blackboard. The immediate effect of the crisis was on our stakeholders, our children, parents, teachers, and staff, where each one of them were in fear of uncertainty.
So we came upon diagnosing what would be the possible challenges to our problem. The first aspect was in reshuffling and redefining the educational process. We never thought that someday teachers will reach students via digital platforms. The teachers were experts in their subject, but to accept, adapt, and train them for a new normal was to be done. The school communication, which is the most important aspect, came to a halt. We were unable to connect to the parents as there were restrictions on physical presence in the school. The reception desk unnecessarily heard many unanswered phone rings as no one was there to answer them. The manpower plays a crucial role in maintaining the teacher and student ratio.
The aim is clear, army ready. So we started to list out the possible causes, and for the same, Team GIS Ahmedabad had almost 3 to 4 brainstorming sessions in a day with different segment in charges and team members. The daily review meetings were conducted with the head office where the productive discussions and the plans were taking shape. We also conducted surveys of different aspects related to imparting online education. We did a survey on more than 25 schools in the city. We conducted a survey to know about the availability of resources and also the technical literacy. The things were still not easy. Too much of work. What a draining task. Sleepless nights, late working hours, less family time, and many skipped their meals too. All of these graveling efforts were yet to be paid back. GIS Ahmedabad is a vast family, so for a better understanding and clarity, the meetings and trainings were fragmented into small groups. When the mood had changed, so was with the planning. The planning of lessons, curriculum, timetable, admissions, recruitment, all was changed 360 degree. But we are GIS Ahmedabad. Pulling up the socks again, the team reframed and reconstructed the pattern and framework to a great model. The lesson plans were designed after meeting and training with coordinators and other branches of Global Family, and we were ready. Did we ever thought of getting online admissions at school? No, but this crisis pushed our limits and we came up bouncing back with great plans. The admission process was made online, and now no student would be deprived of being at GIS Ahmedabad due to the
Assessment framework is one of the prime aspect in any school. Changing the assessment pattern is not easy. We changed the entire design just for our children to give them the experience of appearing for the test. Many queries and speculations were attended by our teachers from the parents. It was virtual, but not less than actual. Parents teacher meeting is one of the most awaited event in any school. Parents and teacher meeting face to face and discussing learning aspects of their child. GIS Ahmedabad was aware that it won't be possible now, but as emerging idea magician came the idea of virtual PTM. Nothing missed out. same happy faces, same innocent smiles, same enthusiasm, and the same energy. And what an implementation of solution. The shift from actual to virtual was successful. And GIS Ahmedabad now conducted every event, every competition, along with the scholastic and co-scholastic classes with same energy and same enthusiasm. Nothing, I repeat, nothing could stop us.
The significance of selfless efforts have been beautifully described here. GIS Ahmedabad relentlessly work day and night for its children, and to an amazing surprise the school reached the highest admission count, 787, which was a record in comparison to all previous years' statistics. And such a miracle in such times, it was achieved just by the word of mouth. Distancing and limitations can never stop you when you are sincere in your efforts.
Tangible results were seen with the feedbacks of our parents on my GIS, emails, and WhatsApp messages appreciating our efforts. A significant rise was registered in the attendance, which rose from 40% to 91%. The improved results of our students showed that we are on the right track. Students were now habituated to learning with virtual reality and augmented reality. When others were encoding the technology, GIS Ahmedabad was decoding it. GIS Ahmedabad won many competitions of prime honor even by participating virtually. The IT workshop, the boot camp was conducted to understand the technology well. In conclusion, GIS Ahmedabad turned out the global crisis into an opportunity and decoded it with relentless efforts, and the results are evident here.
Good presentation, Team Ahmedabad. I am sure the judges will agree. I request Mr. Shailesh Godekar and Mr. Darshan Singh to take over the question answer session.
Hello, Team Ahmedabad.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good
morning, sir. Good morning. Morning, sir.
My question is, what are the tools which you have used, okay, to arrive at a solution basically, and why did you use these tools?
So the tools that we use was mainly our communication. Communication was the key, which made it easier to reach the parents and as well as the students. Because in such times, communication usually lags behind because no one is in the school. But since we have GIS, my GIS, we have Google Classroom that helped us to approach parents and students, which helped us finding the solutions for this.
Do you feel that this problem has been sufficiently analyzed, or is there a more to this?
So it's like we are taking, we are very new to this. We are like taking baby steps. Obviously, it takes time to adapt to something. So that is why it is important that we are improving each day. We can't say we are at the maximum peak and we have done our best. But for the current times, it is the best, and we are still striving for continuous improvement.
Okay. Over to you, Darshanji.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Even though we didn't get the opportunity to hear your audio, but let me ask you, can you elaborate what were the challenges you faced in implementing your solutions?
Would you like, shall I answer?
Anyone can answer.
Yeah. The challenges were many, sir. Actually, we began with a period, or I should say, everything was shrouded in a kind of uncertainty, like how to proceed. But then in front of us was like, there'll be no schools. Everybody is at home, thinking about the physical health of our teachers, the students, the parents, what has to be done. But then we had to engage them productively and truthfully. So challenges were many because teachers were all not prepared for this kind of online classes. There were some who didn't have, devices to start with. They had to be trained properly. They had to be provided with online teaching materials. Okay, so all these challenges were already there, and above all, the parents had to be taken into confidence how we are going to engage them. So all these challenges were there during the lockdown period. We have even distributed our PCs to the teachers with the help of the police. That was one of the major risks that we have taken. So, and ensured that we gave proper trainings to our teachers beyond our, daily routine. I should say we spend hours and hours together from morning till night, giving trainings to a bigger group, a smaller group, giving trainings to our parents. We gave trainings to our teachers in small segments, in bigger segments, to understand what are the features of the Zoom, and how to take on with the other online modes to make our teaching even more effective, using different tools to make our teaching even more effective. So these are the challenges we had.
What would you consider as your most impactful solution? The solutions that generated the best results?
Sir, I think the best solution we had was, I think, the PTM, virtual PTMs, because it was something which is such an essential part of school life, that what a student has been doing in the academics as well as co-curricular. So that was one of the best initiatives taken by a school. The second one was online celebrations, which were like we had conducted Independence Day, Yoga Day, without there was no lack of energy at all. The same enthusiasm was there in the celebrations, and all the initiatives, I think, assessments, virtual assessments that we conducted, it was something that had no lag in our academics, and we didn't feel like we were not in the physical school. It made it somewhere compensated the physical school.
Okay, thank you. What is PTM, by the way?
Parent teacher meeting.
Oh, okay.
Parent teacher meeting.
Thank you, judges and Team Ahmedabad. Execution is greater than strategy. We can keep brainstorming on how to approach a problem, but unless we hit the ground running, we will never really know what is feasible. Team Smart Campus Punggol became hunger warriors to battle their problem.
Respected judges, teachers, and fellow students, we are the Hunger Warriors from grade 9 of the GIIS Smart Campus here in Singapore. We believe that real world challenges such as poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, and hunger have solutions. Our team comprises of Anushka, Arushi, Shreya, and myself, Joydev. Mother Teresa has aptly said, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one.
The project we identified was to contribute towards achieving zero hunger. Zero hunger vision incorporates elements from within the goals of the sustainable development, which, while striving to end hunger, eradicates all types of poverty and creates inclusive and sustainable food systems. Hunger is a prevalent issue that is predominantly caused by poverty and unemployment. But did you know that global supplies of food exceeds demand? This highlights the fact that food wastage is a major problem. As a team of like minded students, we wanted to move out of our sphere of school and home and see how we can contribute to society. We held brainstorming sessions to discuss the most salient problems and how we could make a beneficial contribution to the society. We used the nominal group technique to select our final problem. Reports by Oxfam show that around 12,000 people per day could die from COVID 19 linked to hunger by the end of the year. Furthermore, we disown that hunger is interlinked to other goals such as poverty.
A current situation analysis shows us that rates at which people don't have enough money to buy food have been increasing since 2005. With the help of surveys we conducted in school to reach a wide range of respondents and data analysis, we were able to identify and list the possible causes of hunger. We gathered our data through responses of our peers and finally grouped them into poverty and illiteracy.
Through collective brainstorming sessions and research, we were able to shortlist the key causes that hunger can be attributed to. Furthermore, We were able to classify these very causes into 4 specific subcategories to better analyze them. These categories we created were man, method, external factors, and material. After gathering and grouping our data, the final causes that we came up with were the lack of awareness, lesser opportunities for charities and donations, as well as food wastage, which in turn are all primarily caused by man.
After numerous brainstorming sessions and comprehensive research, we were able to shortlist some solutions. We raised funds by conducting activities such as food donation drives and assembly presentations. We decided to narrow down our solutions based on a few factors, which include effectiveness, impact, and suitability.
Additionally, we engaged creative ideas like mimes, posters, poems, skits, quizzes, brain teasers, animated videos, news, and inspiring articles to motivate people to contribute towards zero hunger. Also, we organized food donation drives, which greatly supported foreign migrant workers during these testing times of COVID 19. We also donated to various charities like Udavum Karangal in Chennai, Food from the Heart in Singapore, and successfully tied up with renowned charities like the Food Bank Singapore to support communities amidst the pandemic. Analyzing data, brainstorming sessions, and comprehensive research were just few of the ways we identified these solutions. We also set out a 6-point action plan that outlined our clear targets to be implemented by May 2020.
Moving on to project implementation and results. Here are a few snapshots of our team in action. We managed to complete all of the targets we set in the beginning and also exceeded a few of them, like collaboration with an external organization, digital creatives, and few presentations in school to spread awareness on food wastage. However, we had much more planned for the future, but had to change our plans due to the COVID 19 pandemic.
The tangible results were that we raised $10,000 through fundraising events or by generous donations of the donors, and were able to feed approximately 5,100 needy people, both in Singapore and in India. We also contributed 3,500 plus hours in action and educated around 1,500 peers to champion the cause of zero hunger, which we believe in. We also supported a community awareness campaign promoted by Ms. Denise Phua, the Member of Parliament and Mayor of Central Singapore, to foster community bonding. We conducted a maiden fundraising event, Kam Arangetram, presented by one of our teammates, organized at the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Chennai, in the presence of world-renowned dancer Vaijayanti Mala Bali.
We won the Impact Award in the GSL Global Goals competition among 957 projects across 102 countries, and the results were shared using our school's social media channels.
As intangible benefits, our persistent efforts were able to mobilize empathy from people to donate wholeheartedly, motivate others to contribute to zero hunger and other SDGs, and share joy with the needy.
One of our teammates donated their scholarship amount to Shop for Change, an NGO incubated by the European Union and Tradecraft UK for empowering 500 tribal kids to impart self sustainability in growing organic crops and thereby making them self reliant in a couple of years. Amid uncertainty due to COVID 19, our endeavor to harness technology to empower 10,000 farmers, 500 tribal kids, and 500 women blazed a trail. In the future, we look forward to working with farmers for their upliftment.
Do visit our blog, Instagram, and YouTube page for more information. I'd like to quote the former US President Barack Obama. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are the change that we seek. With this, we have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you. This is the Hunger Warriors signing off.
Team Smart Campus Punggol, that was a very good presentation. Let's see what the judges feel. I request Mr. Shailesh Godekar and Mr. Darshan Singh to take over the question answer session.
Thank you, Team Singapore. I think it's a wonderful presentation by all of you. My one question is a basic question. What was the trigger for choosing this project, Zero Hunger?
Sir, I would like to answer this.
Yeah.
So, as you would know, a quality circle is a review that helps you solve a problem. We wanted to go beyond school and home and work towards solving a sustainable development goal in our community. Did you know that 821 million people go to bed hungry every night? Amongst the 17 sustainable development goals set up by the United Nations, we learned that all of those issues were interlinked and realized that hunger played a key part in all of them. Furthermore, we used the nominal group technique to identify out of our 4 selected goals, which would be the most integral to society, and hence Zero Hunger was chosen.
Did you have had a sense of anxiety or a apprehension that this problem, the solution which may come, will also have to have an external interface, a lot of dependence on some external factors?
So actually, we actually had certain criteria based on what we would implement as solutions. So these criteria were the impact, the effectiveness, the suitability, and the sustainability. So by impact, we meant how many people we could reach or how many organizations we could support. By effectiveness, we meant how much change we were able to bring. By the suitability of our project, we meant including efficiency and viable solutions throughout the world in places like India and Singapore. Lastly, we had sustainability. Through this, we meant how long our solutions could last.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Darshan.
Okay. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is about target groups. What target groups were you targeting for this project, and how serious was this problem affecting the target groups?
Yes, sir. So actually, we weren't really focusing on a single target group, as there are multiple people, multiple communities around the world in different locations facing hunger. Especially with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, we realized the foreign migrant workers' plight was extremely unbearable, as they had minimal wages and they also had to support their families back in their native lands. So the foreign migrant workers was probably one of the primary key target goals we had.
Okay, anyone want to add anything else? Okay, and my next question is in terms of impact. What impact did this project had on you as students? That means what learnings from the project that you gained that also impact your personal lives?
Anyone want to answer?
I would like to answer this question.
Please do.
This project had impacted our lives as we got to have a more clear understanding on the problem. We were able to get a better view on it, because in our personal lives, we may have come across a problem in which we may have wasted food ourselves. When viewing this problem, we were able to know that we should not waste food anymore, as we knew how many lives this had impacted.
Okay, that's a good reply.
I would like to add on that
yeah.
While we were identifying our final root cause, we came across 4 broad categories: man, method, external factors, and material. Out of this, we were able to narrow it down to man being the primary cause. So since we narrowed it down to man, that actually gave us a lot to reflect on, as we realized we ourselves as humans are the primary cause of other humans around the world not getting enough food. And this actually, in a way, made us focus our attempts towards solving this issue wholeheartedly.
In addition to what Shreya and Jaydev said, what I personally learned was that we should be thankful and grateful for what we have, that so many people worldwide don't have access to. I would just like to add on to say that when we conducted our food drive in school during the Orange DorsCon, um, we got an overwhelming response from our peers and students and teachers, and that taught us to be grateful for what we have.
Thank you, judges and Team Smart Campus Punggol. Fear and anxiety about a new disease and what could happen can be overwhelming and cause strong emotion in adults and children. Team Noida has come up with a solution to cope with stress.
Greetings to one and all present here. I am Megha along with my teammate Advitya from 11C, Noida campus. Today we are here to talk about a topic which can be considered very close to the students. Our topic is stress during COVID-19 among students, and our team name is Team Risers. First off, we would like to start with the introduction for the better understanding of the topic.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. This virus spread rapidly and put the people in situations like social distancing. This has increased the stress of people because of the lockdown and sudden change in their daily routine. This pandemic was unforeseen and unimaginable. Students and adults didn't know how to prepare themselves and be equipped to handle situations better. So, this project is based on equipping them well so that they can face the stress caused by it in a more optimistic way. Now, my fellow teammate is going to explain you what exactly is stress.
Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. It is a type of psychological pain. Stress can be short term or long term. Both can lead to a variety of symptoms, but chronic stress can take a serious toll on the body over time and have long lasting health effects. Some common signs of stress include changes in mood, headaches, and low energy.
Here on the left side is the first video of our schoolmates, which clearly depicts the problematic issues that the students have encountered during COVID-19. In addition, they have also given their viewpoints on the changed perception after the solutions were implemented with them. Coping with stress in a healthy way will make you, the people you care about, and your community stronger. This project aims to assist personnel in these distressful times by providing a safe space to resolve these situational difficulties. By using tools of self care practices and community togetherness, we aim to help the society. So, here goes both of our videos.
One major problem that I have faced after virtual classes started has been headaches because of my power. I cannot, look at the screen for more than an hour or two, otherwise I get headaches or migraines. And distraction is one of the biggest issues because having younger brother and even he has his online classes, so it is quite chaotic to be studying at the same time.
The stress during COVID-19, especially in academics, would be that you have to sit in front of a screen for a long time and in a particular place, so it's affecting your health, especially your eyes. The classes are not as interesting as they were when you went to the classroom and you sat with your friends and learned things. And there are no outdoor activities, so it's become kind of boring, like studying the whole time. Also, since the exams are held online, students tend to cheat more instead of actually learning things.
As we all know that we all are facing COVID-19 situation since last few months, which also had a great impact on students' academy. For those who have access of internet and smartphones can easily attend online classes, but it is difficult for the poor who don't have availability of internet in their rural areas.
Previous video talked about the stress due to the lockdown on students, but today I'll tell you some advantages. Since the number of classes in a day have been reduced, we get some leisure time where we can talk to our friends or do activities that we're interested in, like maybe reading novels or painting. We can spend time with the parents, which we couldn't before, which will ultimately strengthen the parent-child relationship. Coming to academics, the regions that we are poor in, we can improve those regions in the lockdown since we don't have to go to school physically and the classes are only for a limited time. Also, we get time for our self-care, which we don't usually think about much, so we can spend time in self-care also.
There has been reduction in timetable which led to the development of good relationships with my parents and peers. If sometimes I feel anxious, I can easily contact to my psychology teacher or counseling sessions which help me to reduce my stress.
From Mandla for the first time and it was very helpful and effective for me.
as it reduced my stress. And second thing, the schedule earlier was very hectic, but after the reduction in timetable, I get time for my self study, and it really helped me a lot.
So now we will proceed with the current situation analysis. That is A. Negligence towards the stress of the students. B. Learning through virtual modes. C. Socio-economic disparity in accessibility to the technology. And D. Interpersonal relationship with the peers.
Method used to identify the possible causes was the survey method, in which degree of agreeableness was checked to capture personal essence of the children. Here is the link for the same and the analysis for few statements. The answers that we got from our schoolmates were pretty astonishing. The further mentioned colors show the respective key points in the pie chart. Blue shows highly disagree, red shows disagree, orange shows neutral, green shows agree, and purple shows highly agree.
I am going to explain the statements along with the pie chart for the better understanding. The statement, I want to be more optimistic about the situation, depicts 44.4% agrees with it, 16.7% highly agrees with it, 16.7% are neutral, and 22.2% shows disagreement. This clearly shows the subjective opinions of the students.
Now we will shift our focus to the solution part. Just like a coin has two sides, there are solutions to every problem. The first solution is the reduced timetable, relaxation of 15 minutes break after each class. Next, some stress relieving activities like mandala art, listening to uplifting music, practicing some relaxation techniques, etc. are planned. Regular counseling sessions are planned so that students can open up and get better at managing stress. Coffee mornings plan to be introduced, in which there can be a student teacher interaction and class teachers can motivate the students to start their day in a better way.
The solutions that we just provided were implemented by a school GIS Noida, and they actually made a difference. The process of implementation was insightful and regarding. The reduction in the timetable proved to be a great help in self studying. The mandala art session was extremely therapeutic to the children while they were creating the symbols in calmness. Another successful venture was coffee mornings, in which teachers made up for the personal interactions that was missing in virtual school. Creativity always enhances intelligence. Students were given a platform to express their creativity and talents via art exhibition, CCA activities, and special assemblies. Happiness is a state of mind. We wanted to bring this agenda to light and make the situation easier for our students and peers to handle.
Lastly, here's a reminder for you guys. You have totally got this.
Thank you, Team Noida, for providing us this great opportunity.
That was indeed a wonderful presentation. Now over to the judges. I request Ms. Suman Pai and Mr. Kunjumon to take over the question answer session.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Megha.
Good afternoon, all. Hope you're all doing good. I am Advitya from Team Risers, and I'm from class 11th, Noida campus.
Good afternoon to one and all.
Greetings to everyone.
So good afternoon. Thank you very much for your presentation. And I just have one, actually I have two questions. You know, I like the fact that you'll use those videos of students to explain what was the kind of stress they were going through, and then, you know, the advantages and what did they learn, by making those changes. So how many such students did you all interview, and did you all actually list all the stress related issues that they talked about? How many students?
First of all, thank you so much for the compliment, ma'am. Means a lot. And it is like we asked our schoolmates and classmates, all of us, for if they are willing to give their opinions on the stress they are facing right now in this situation. So they were willing to give their opinions. So what we did was we took their opinions and we gave it to our teachers, and all of us discussed upon it, and we came up with some solutions as a team. And the stressors they told us, yes, we listed them and we worked upon it, and that's how the implementation worked.
Okay, so this solution about having these 15-minute break between classes and you know the reduced number of classes, you'll discuss this with your teachers and the management before you implemented the solution.
Ma'am, yes, I would like you to continue.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. So, ma'am, basically our online classes started around March, and it was very new for everyone to be on a virtual level because it is the new normal now. So, after taking some of the classes, we got to know the problematic areas, what we are facing, and where the stress we are facing. So, we definitely consulted with our teacher, and being on this project also helped us to present our views and our peers' views. So, as we were in the team, we had the privilege to collect our peers' views as well. So, we had a meeting with them. We maybe in breaks or maybe in the evening time, whenever they felt comfortable, and we presented their views and our views and consulted teachers, and then again we came up as a team with the solutions and tried to implement it so that we can cope up with the stress in a healthy way.
Okay, thank you. Kunjumon, you have questions?
I have two questions. One is, as the members of this QC team, what was your personal takeaway in your life other than the subject referred in the QC?
In this, we learned many new things while doing this research. So it was like, if you ask us about our personal takeaway, we learned about the basic things about technology, and we learned new things about this topic stress. We learned there can be many kinds of stress, and it can be a very subjective topic for every person. It depends from person to person. And not to mention, we also had a great conversation with our peers and teachers. So it really built up our bond. So that is what I can mention that the personal takeaway for us was in this research.
And in addition to what my teammates said, I would like to add that after doing this project, the main achievement for us is that we got to know that not every stress is bad for us. Stress is good also, and how to cope up with the stress in a healthy way. That was the main thing we learned, because stress can be sudden, and it takes time to get adapt to the stress, and so that we can cope up with the stress. So basically, the techniques and how to cope up with the stress, we learned this from this project.
Okay, thank you. One more question. You have identified certain issues, like, for example, lack of infrastructure, IT infrastructure, somebody trying to cheat in the exam because it's virtual classes, somebody is having health problems, etc. In your solution matrix, how you have tackled these issues?
Okay, so if I take about the health issues, I myself wear specs, and it was difficult for me to cope up with the stress and the virtual classes, as it was difficult for me to manage because I had regular headaches. But as we have mentioned in the solution part, after the timetable reduction, I felt a little relieved, and afterwards. Earlier, virtual classes were all about studies, and the feeling of traditional schooling was not there. But as we're into something, we get to know more about the particular topic, and we improve in that particular field. So this is what happened. Our school also implemented some other activities, motivational sessions, and all. After which I could cope up with the stress and cope up with my health issues also. So I guess this is how I tackled myself. If I talk it on a personal note.
Also, I would like to add, one of our mates also talked about distractions going on while the virtual mode. Again, if I could relate to a personal level, I have a sibling, so sometimes it can be a distraction. But as we are connecting day by day on the video modes and the virtual modes, it's like, as my teammates said, when we get into something, we really work upon it. So now, as we are getting used to this new normal, we are getting to cope up with it better, and the extraneous distractions that are happening are not really affecting. So that's how I would answer it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, judges and Team Noida. Team Abu Dhabi is not baking a cake. They're starting a movement, getting students to work together effectively to transform to an agile environment.
We ought to be as rigorous as we can with the things we can control. Dave Nicol, from this line, we can infer that although we may not be able to change the future for our youth, we can prepare our youth for the future. So, according to our view, transforming to an agile environment is the best way to prepare our youth to face any challenge. Greetings from GIIS Abu Dhabi. We thank the pioneers of Global School Foundation for giving us an opportunity to participate in the Global Excellence Day 2020.
Problem description. Using the 5 Ws and the H method of description, we have come to the conclusion that focusing on the challenges students face with respect to social and emotional learning and the consequences it has on their family and social relationship is of utmost importance. The challenges. The social and emotional challenges faced in educational institutions for the purpose of molding the individuals to adapt to an agile environment. Affects the mentors, families, and support staff identified in the past and constantly changing times due to the various factors like people, processes, and environment.
The project was identified by students and teachers during brainstorming sessions and group discussions. The methods used for identifying the problems were QC sessions, democratic processes like voting, brainstorming with the help of mind maps, and Google Forms. The students and teachers held QC sessions virtually on the online platforms, and views were shared, then validated thoroughly. Teachers and students then finally approved of the topic, transforming to agile environment. The project was selected because the issue was very prominent, not only in students' personality and academic development, but also on the mentors, family, and support staff.
The tools used for listing the causes were Google Form surveys, case studies, Padlet wall, fishbone diagram, and graphs like pie chart and bar graphs. Analysis was done in brainstorming sessions and thorough observations was conducted. Case study document from the SEN department after thorough analysis showed that there was a decline in the emotional and social intelligence of students from 2019 to 2020. Numerous causes were identified for this purpose, but we experienced trouble in listing down final root cause. To resolve this and to come to an accurate conclusion, the tools used were stratification diagram and Ishikawa diagram. Our team validated the final root causes by cross-referencing information listed in Ishikawa diagram and Padlet wall, along with the observed results from the stratification diagram and Google survey responses. After much debate and thought, we came to a conclusion of 4 main root causes: lack of connectedness and communication, challenges regarding student health, family challenges, challenges faced in the school climate.
Gable Club and workshops like mental health awareness programs, career development, goal settings, heartfulness, and Global Student Summit were introduced with the aim of boosting social and emotional health, eliminating the fear, instilling in them a sense of connectedness and communication. Our health is our priority, which is applicable in the physical and mental realm. Numerous extracurricular activities, positive reinforcements, helplines, parent engagement, and support groups to ensure the health of our students. Quality time with family through open discussions, counseling sessions helped us to overcome challenging situations. Incorporating 9 GEMS framework with peer learning and literacy programs for support staffs was conducted. Ideas were collated through the Padlet wall and listed in the Ishikawa diagram as the sub-solutions. Availability and accessibility were the 2 criteria used to select the final solution.
The final solutions were to provide literacy programs for support staff, to encourage students to participate in school clubs like the Gavel Club, after-school activities, and inter-school competitions like Altasamu, to provide extracurricular activities for students to relieve from stress and to boost concentration and multitasking skills, to participate in mental awareness programs, and to reinforce positive parental engagement in the child's life, to offer counseling sessions for students to improve and maintain their psychological balance, to stimulate the child's connection with the family through various family activities like Grandparents' Day, Mother's Day, to vigorously enforce the 9 GEMS framework in school climate for the holistic development, to awaken the spirit of creativity and innovation among students in the classroom through the Kutuhal program. Heart-to-heart talks were held to come up with solutions, and these solutions were analyzed with the various groups like students, parents, teachers, senior leadership team, and top management.
The hindrances were all pervasive, and so coming up with solutions was tricky. Convincing the affected party to accept the situation and go ahead with the solutions, and then getting permission from the local regulatory body was also another challenge. Meeting with various departments and in-depth discussions led to the addressal of the challenges. The ideas were put into categories for systematic implementation. They were distributed to various departments of the school that worked on it based on their jurisdiction. The implementation for transforming to an agile environment took shape as the target hit the social and emotional learning through the various programs enlisted in the slide. Tangible results achieved were increase in student participation, better academic performance, happiness index, and winning of accolades. The intangible results achieved were reduced stress, positive stimulations, increased focus and concentration, and motivation for increased participation. The quality circle had solutions being implemented which in turn gave us tangible and intangible results. Results were shared to cross-functional teams by integrating each evented solution within both GIS's Abu Dhabi and Dubai campuses as well as within the campus. Unless we learn to be flexible and adapt ourselves to our surroundings, we would not be able to enjoy all the benefits of life.
Thank you for giving us this platform to showcase one of the best practices that we are following in our campus to become agile and face the 21st century.
Good job, Abu Dhabi. Let's see what the judges have to say. I request Ms. Suman Pai and Mr. Kunjumon to take over the question answer session.
So my question was, how did you go about measuring objectively the final solutions that you presented, such as lack of connectedness, family challenges, and in improving the school climate? So how did you all go about doing that? Measure objectively.
All right, lack of connectedness, family challenges, and these all were the main root causes. While we were selecting or while we were narrowing down the root causes, we kept in mind few criteria. That is the prominence of the issue and the consequences it had. Basically, we connected these, we have got so many possible causes. So we connected the possible causes with 3 main circles, that is individual, society, and family. An individual or a student always faces problems in these 3 circles, and the causes were mainly identified from these 3 circles. And solutions, while we were measuring the objectivity or the criteria of solutions, we kept in mind 2 main criteria, that is accessibility and availability. Because we have to keep in mind the availability of resources, availability of man skills, availability of supplies. And in our locality, in order to implement a solution or to start a program, we have to get a permission from the local regulatory body, that is ADEC. So this is how we measure the objectivity of the root causes and the final solutions we have come up. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. So that means, in the school climate, you said you added a gavel club and the Kutuhal program. So was the gavel club added after the lockdown or prior to the lockdown?
May I answer the question or?
Sure.
All right. Gavel club. If you see, ma'am, Gavel club is for the juniors and Toastmasters club is for the seniors. Before the lockdown, before the pandemic, we were conducting face-to-face. It was completely student organized. The motive was to achieve the 9 gems such as leadership and entrepreneurship, community care, universal values and ethics. And after pandemic, it's conducted in Zoom application once in a week, that is on Saturday. Students take up all the positions such as coordinator, juries. In fact, fact, they come up with different creative topics to speak, such as table topics in the events. So it was conducted both before the pandemic and after the pandemic.
Okay, thank you. Kunjama?
Yeah, thank you. Your solutions talks about getting permissions from regulatory authorities. Can you elaborate on that? What kind of permissions are required for this kind of a project from regulatory authorities?
So the thing was that while putting forth these solutions, we needed students to stay back at the school, which is not exactly allowed. So we needed permission from the ADAC, our regulatory body, for those purposes.
And may I please add on? In fact, not just not just ADIC, but even permission from our principals and our teachers as well, and parents itself also. So it's necessary that we have the permission.
Okay. Another question I have was this project, when you chose, was there any other list of projects and there was a voting done on priority for this project, or you simply chose this project?
I would like to answer this question. There were various topics, possible topics that we selected, such as should we build to last or should we build to adapt? Should we develop EQ or should we develop materialism, lack of physical fitness? Should we be progressive or should we be regressive? So these are the possible problems or the topics that we have identified. But what we have done was we brainstormed and did group discussions within and among students and teachers, support staffs, employees of all managements and levels in our school. So based on our observation in the group discussion, we created a Google form. We circulated the Google form among students. Almost 62% of the responses were given by the 9th graders, and 56.3% of students are facing the problem of procrastination. We went with this problem to our SEN department, the counselors. Ma'am, these are the problem, these are the responses given by students. What can we do about it? So they took up the process. They have done a case study, and they have identified that this is a significant problem to be addressed. So,
yeah,
and even
thank you very
voting
much.
process was done.
Yeah,
sorry, sir?
please continue.
Yeah. After the case study, we have come up with graphs such as Pareto chart, stratification diagram, Ishikawa diagram. And after this, the graphs were distributed among the QC team, and they were allowed to analyze the importance and significance of this particular problem. Then voting process was done in QC session, and the topic was selected completely in a democratic voting process.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's all from me, Suman.
Okay, thank you, Team Abu Dhabi.
Thank you, judges and Team Abu Dhabi. GSF is renowned for educational excellence, and as part of its CSR initiative, it aims to provide educational opportunity to children of the underprivileged so that they can go on to make a contribution to their communities when they grow up. The Mahatma Gandhi Global Indian Education School from Tilakwada gives an equal chance at opportunities that cannot just change a child's own life, but also that of generations to come. Next up are the students from Tilakwada, sharing not a quality circle, but instead their best practice.
Namaskar to all. Wendy Woods has quoted that CSR is the norm today, and it's very useful. It provides a route for corporate generosity, and that generosity is important to many corporations, employees, and customers. We have heard a lot of such notions of leading non profit strategies of companies serving NGOs and different corporations in the area of creating social value. Where Global School Foundation believes that it is not only CSR but TSI, total societal impact, to drive solutions to the biggest problem in our world today because it's incremental cost. To bring about this TSI through the exemplary educational approach, GSF has adopted Mahatma Gandhi Global Indian Eklavya School, Tilakwada, which focuses on the overall development of the tribal students. This school is not only a temple of learning, but it is a threshold for the new life of these tribal children.
Eklavya Tribal School. Tilakwada Tribal School is the only one of its kind in the whole of Gujarat, offering a full-time residential program for the less fortunate children of the tribes of Gujarat. Governed by the Public-Private Partnership Plan, the school is generously funded by the Government of Gujarat and allied by Global Indian International School's world-class educational design. Though the school caters to underprivileged children, the amenities and the educational structure of the school is at par with any modern institute, the GIIS model being one of the finest in the world. Established in 2002, the foundation aims to provide a holistic education with an all-round development program and international education with Indian values. As a part of the vision of the school, strong emphasis is laid on the physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual development of each child. The program ensures a comfortable home-like setting for the children. Special care is taken to provide the children with healthy, wholesome food. Emphasis is laid on inculcating in every child the value of being self-sufficient. The children are taught to do their own tasks. They clean their own utensils, clean their labs, and make their own beds. Parents like Minakshi and Vinod Rathwa, who cannot read and write since they never had the opportunity to go to school themselves, have made it a point to enroll their daughter in school. Each dream is as precious as the other, and the foundation undertakes the responsibility to give these dreams a definite form by providing quality global education to these tribal children. Global Indian Foundation ensures that no child is left behind and no dream ever goes unrealized. Daksha and the 249 other children of this school are steadily progressing each day towards their dream. We all aspire to see a refulgent India. We all want our country to be a resurgent nation. And we all want to be known as the citizens of a country that is recognized as a superpower worldwide.
Keeping in mind its vision and mission, Mahatma Gandhi Global Indian Eklavya School students have developed many good practices to build their character and show responsible behavior towards Mother Earth. In the next few slides, you will witness some of the best practices explained by the students of Eklavya School. The student, being from tribal community, has explained it in Hindi.
अमृत संदेश। आप सभी श्रोताओं को अमृत संदेश देना हमारा उद्देश्य है। एक ऐसा संदेश जो हमारी मूलभूत आवश्यकता को पूर्ण करे एवं पर्यावरण को भी नुकसान न पहुंचाए। मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी के इस दौर में हर एक व्यक्ति पैसे कमाने की दौड़ में लगा हुआ है। उसी संदर्भ में वह अपने स्वास्थ्य एवं पर्यावरण दोनों का ध्यान नहीं रख पा रहा है, इसलिए उसे काफी हद तक नुकसान पहुंचता है। मनुष्य अपनी जरूरतों को पूर्ण करने के लिए अपने शरीर, मस्तिष्क एवं पर्यावरण के नियमों का नियमित रूप से पालन नहीं कर रहा है। पहले के समय में हमारा आयु सामान्यतः 100 साल का होता था और वहीं आज 60 से 65 साल का हो गया है और इस विषय में सही दिशा में सोचा नहीं गया तो यह दिन भी दूर नहीं कि सामान्य आयु से 30 से 35 साल का हो जाएगा। यह एक गंभीर समस्या है। इस समस्या को दूर करने के विचार से हमने हेल्दी हाउस बनाया है। इस घर को बनाने के लिए हमने ऐसे फीचर्स को ध्यान में लिया है जिससे पर्यावरण को भी हानि न पहुंचे एवं स्वास्थ्य रक्षी हो। इसमें हमने रिसाइकलिंग को भी महत्व दिया है। हमारे घर के फीचर्स कुछ इस प्रकार के हैं। नेचुरल एयरनेस, हवा का प्रवाह, घर के दरवाजे एवं खिड़कियों को कुछ इस प्रकार से लगाया है कि हवा का नेचुरल फ्लो मेंटेन रहे। सूर्य प्रकाश, दिन के समय में अच्छी मात्रा में सूर्य की रोशनी घर में आ सके उसका ध्यान रखा है। सोलर एनर्जी का उपयोग घर के छत पर लगाया गया है जो सौर ऊर्जा का ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस्तेमाल कर सके। बारिश के पानी का योग्य रूप में व्यवस्थापन के लिए हमने अंडरग्राउंड वाटर टैंक बनाए हैं जो काफी मात्रा में पानी का संग्रह करते हैं। ग्रे वाटर कलेक्शन, कपड़े धोने के बाद, हाथ धोने के बाद, बर्तन धोने के बाद बचे हुए पानी का संग्रह किया जाता है जिसका उपयोग हम फ्लश में करते हैं। घर के चारों ओर पेड़ पौधे लगाए गए हैं जिसमें प्राकृतिक खाद का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। घर की छत पर स्टैंड बेस्ड गार्डन बनाए हैं, पौधे लगाए हैं जिसके घर का तापमान नियंत्रित कर सके और एक ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट मिले। घर की हर एक खिड़की के शीशे पर यूवी प्रोटेक्टेड ग्लास का इस्तेमाल किया गया है जिससे यूवी फ्री सूर्य प्रकाश आ सके। घर के दरवाजे पर तोरण एवं दीवारों पर नेचुरली कलर के हैंडीक्राफ्ट का इस्तेमाल किया गया है जिससे उसे देखने भर से ही हमें पॉजिटिव वाइब्स मिले। तोरण एवं हैंडीक्राफ्ट को हमने सेल्फ मेड यूज किए हैं जो हमने वेस्ट मटेरियल से बनाए हैं। हेल्थ बेनिफिट, स्वास्थ्य के फायदे, जैसे कि बताया गया है कि घर का कंस्ट्रक्शन इस प्रकार है कि नेचुरल रिसोर्स का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। घर के चारों ओर फलों, सब्जियां एवं औषधीय वनस्पतियां लगाई गई है जिसका इस्तेमाल भोजन बनाने एवं दवा के तौर पर की जाती है। सब्जी एवं फलों का उपयोग करने के बाद निकले हुए वेस्ट प्राकृतिक खाद बनाकर इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। हेल्दी हाउस में रहने वाले प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को कुछ न कुछ बेनिफिट मिलता रहता है, जैसे कि कोई बुजुर्ग व्यक्ति हो तो उसे प्राकृतिक वातावरण मिल रहा है, रासायनिक पदार्थ रहित भोजन मिल रहा है और स्वास्थ्य को नुकसान न हो ऐसे घर का निर्माण किया गया है। नन्हे बच्चों को भी यूवी प्रोटेक्टेड सूर्य प्रकाश मिलेगा जो उसे प्रॉपर सन प्रोटेक्शन और विटामिन D3 देगा। गृहिणी भी प्राकृतिक वनस्पति का इस्तेमाल करके भोजन बना सकती है। जिस जगह हम रहते हैं वहाँ 6 से 7 महीने गर्मी और ह्यूमिडिटी होती है, तो यह घर हमें प्राकृतिक ठंडक देता है जिससे हमें एसी और पंखे का इस्तेमाल नहीं करना पड़ता है। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण यह है कि व्यक्ति दिन भर की भाग दौड़ से घर आए तो उसे ऐसा माहौल मिले जो उसके मानसिक आरोग्य को स्थिर रख सके। प्राकृतिक वातावरण उसके शरीर एवं मस्तिष्क को शीतलता प्रदान करे। पर्यावरण को प्रदूषण से बचाने के लिए एक और अमृत संदेश हमारे पास है जो प्रत्येक स्त्री के लिए जरूरी है। हमने एक बायोडिग्रेडेबल सैनिटरी नैपकिन बनाया है जो सुरक्षित भी है और आसानी से डिकम्पोज हो जाता है। हमने इसे बनाने में हमने 0% प्लास्टिक यूज किया है। इसमें हमने कॉटन क्लॉथ, स्टार्च पाउडर, फंगल पाउडर, जेली का उपयोग किया है जिससे लिक्विड को सोखने के लिए किया जाता है। इस्तेमाल करने के बाद इसका 3 से 4 महीने में डिकम्पोज हो जाता है। बाजार में जो नैपकिन मिलते हैं वह 80 to 90% प्लास्टिक युक्त होता है जिसका डिकम्पोजन कई वर्षों तक नहीं होता जो प्रदूषण को बढ़ाता है। जरा सोचिए, मासिक धर्म के समय में प्रत्येक स्त्री को पीरियड में 10 से 14 पेड़ की जरूरत एक स्त्री को होती है, तो उसके जीवन काल में एक स्त्री को अंदाजित 11,000 पेड़ की जरूरत पड़ेगी। इससे कितना प्लास्टिक वेस्ट क्रिएट होगा। लेकिन 10 लाख महिला भी हमारे बनाए गए बायोडिग्रेडेबल सैनिटरी नैपकिन्स यूज करें तो प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन कितना कम हो सकता है। हमारे बनाए गए नैपकिन को हम हमारे हॉस्टल में यूज करते हैं जिससे उससे हमें डिकम्पोजन करना आसान हो जाता है। हम उसे खाद के रूप में उपयोग करते हैं। आगे हमारा उद्देश्य डायपर बनाना
Result of this
है।
best practice. It's not a plastic waste. Early decomposition. It saves 6 metric tons of plastic waste and 7 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. It aims to increase access to sanitary pads for 1.5 million women by 2023.
Amrit Sandesh is a best practice because it reduces climate change, saves money, and protects and enhances the environment. It is focused on environmental sustainability. It answers the serious rural and urban disposal issues. We would like to end our presentation with one Amrit Sandesh. You are a product of your environment. Surround yourself with the best. Namaskar.
Tilakwada, that is indeed a very good practice you have shared with us. I now request Ms. Suman Pai and Mr. Kunjumon to take over the question answer session.
धन्यवाद आपके प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए। मेरा एक ही क्वेश्चन है, ये जो हेल्दी हाउस और बायोडिग्रेडेबल सैनिटरी नैपकिन के आइडिया कहाँ से आया? बच्चों से आया, टीचर ने आइडिया दिया और फिर बाद में बच्चों ने काम किया उस पे?
मैम ये आइडिया है जो अभी हम जब टीचर्स बैठे थे स्टाफ रूम में तब डिस्कस हो रही थी, जबकि पहले के इंसान है वो उसका सरेराश आयु 100 इयर्स था, वो घटकर अब 60 से 65 साल हो गया। तो क्यों हुआ, इसके बारे में हमारे डिस्कस हुई तो हमने अलग टीचर्स ने अपने अपने रीजन दिए कि जैसे कि हमारा पूरा एटमॉस्फेयर है ये अल्ट्रा विद्युत चुंबकीय किरणों से घिरा हुआ है, या फिर विज्ञान ने इतनी ज्यादा प्रगति कर ली है उसके साइड इफेक्ट गणना नहीं, उसके हमारे शरीर पे काफी ट्रेस लगा। इसी संदर्भ में हमने सोचा कि हम क्यों ना एक छोटा सा प्रयोग करें, जैसे कि हमारा आसपास का एटमॉस्फेयर क्लियर है, इसी साथ हमने नदी हाउस का निर्माण किया। और जो नैपकिन्स है जो हमारे लेडी टीचर स्कूल के साथ में इसके बारे में सोचा, इसके हमने नेट पे देखा था, जैसे कि बनाना पेपर हो या बटर पेपर हो, वहां से वो बायोडिग्रेडेबल बनाते थे, ऑर्गेनिक यूज किया, इसका मटेरियल बनाना पे, ऑरेंज पे, सागो पाउडर, हनी मटेरियल को इस मैग्नेट हमने यूज किया, 1 पर्यंत में 1000 पेड़ होती है। तो हमने सोचा कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में के सैनिटरी प्लास्टिक को तो इस कितना पोषण क्रिएट होगा, इससे सोच हमारे गर्ल्स मिलकर करते हैं लड़कियां यहाँ।
Thank you, judges and Team Tilakwada. Social media can bring people together for good, but it can also connect supporters of terror, extremism, and hate. Team Whitefield sheds light on this darker side of our online world with their presentation.
The word Proelia represents fighters or warriors. The members of Team Proelia are Tanisha Khanagav, Ansh Gulati, and Samiksha Menon, ably guided and supported by a mentor, Teacher Sukhdeep Kaur. We as a team are here to inform you of the effects of increased exposure to social media, which has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic that we find ourselves surrounded with today. We are here to find and propose the solutions to mitigate this issue and find a balanced perspective to lead a healthier lifestyle.
In today's digital connected world, media has become the only way through which we can connect to the world outside. With this increased exposure, we are seeing a new normal which has overexposed everyone, adults and children alike. And while in balanced proportions, this is good, but with increased exposure, this may have detrimental effects. Clearly, as you can see, this issue has a potential to make a big impact on our lives, and this is exactly what has led us to choose social media as our project for further research and analysis. The flip side, the dark side of social media. We chose this topic because in today's world, we realize that social media has both boon and bane, which affects the person in various different tangents through the gateway of the virtual world.
The problem identification was not done in isolation. We used the nominal group technique as a logical method to rationalize, brainstorm our thought process, identify, and pinpoint the problem statement from a myriad number of issues we see in and around the world surrounding us. Specifically, we identified bullying, unrealistic expectations, extreme obsession, the dark side of social media, addiction, irregular sleep patterns, mental imbalance. From these, using the NGT, we identified flip side, the dark side of social media, to be the issue of paramount importance, especially in times of the pandemic.
To get an unbiased and balanced perspective on the problem identification, Team Proelia also conducted a survey across a broad spectrum of 60 respondents and followed by interview of 50% of the sample population to get a deeper insight into the intrinsic details of a problem that were affecting them.
As you can see, 83.95% of the survey respondents and 50% of the interview respondents echoed that social media fixation and ills were indeed the topmost priority of problems that they were grappling with as they tried to adjust to the new normal of working from home.
We wanted to go through a deeper introspection into the problem identified. So we used the Ishikawa or the cause and effect diagram to correlate the different causes and effects of this on various individuals, be it their personal, community, social, or school life.
We used the Pareto principle to identify the root cause of the problem. We divided our life into four major divisions, namely school life, social life, community life, and personal life. Pareto noticed that approximately 80% of the problems related to media fixation are caused by 20% of the causes, that is, social life in our case. In this case, approximately 80% of the problems in the present day scenarios are caused by 20% of social media overuse to integrate into social life. We wanted to make sure that we left no stone unturned, and hence we also used the 5 why technique to zone in and examine and arrive at a conclusive decision point on the root cause analysis.
The 5 why technique helped us to identify that people seek the digital identity in this virtually connected world. Lockdown amidst pandemic has led an increased use of digital media, gadgets, internet, social networking, etc. Fear of losing jobs and the competition is forcing people to work extended hours to prove their mettle. Integration into digital connected society and fear of social isolation among friends, peer pressure, and in general the loss of face to face interactions have led people to be exposed and, in many cases, overly exposed to a digital world and social media.
To remedy these problems, we brainstormed to arrive at a few potential solutions, namely, clear your mind, move for a while. That is physical activity that helps oneself grow and clear any clustered thoughts. Be unique, never the same. This solution aims at making people believe that being who you are and doing what you like is the best way to be happier. Plan for a day, a week, or a month. Keep checking whatever is done. A timetable is the best way to stay focused and organized to help boost quality usage of time and stay productive during the day. Real to real life. Positive use of technology. With decreasing the use of social media, we can connect more often to the people around us.
Out of all the solutions, we wanted to handpick the best and the most effective ones. To arrive at that, our team conducted a survey with the identified sample population. The solutions are clear your mind, move for a while, plan for a day, a week, or a month, not one but all. Be unique, never be the same. Real to real life, positive technology.
After implementing the solution in July 2020, we wanted to gauge the effectiveness of the solution. So a follow-up was done after 2 months to gauge the initial success of our mission or project. We found tangible outcomes emerging in terms of increased personal connectedness with calls to friends and relatives, increase the number of personal hobbies being undertaken as a result of freeing of time, and an increase in number of books read, either physical or in digital format.
Each of the above implemented solutions joins the 9 gems of our school, and we use the same to implement and extend it to the other GIIS campuses. These 9 gems are the 9 key values that are taught to every student of GIIS. The four here each show a gem, namely, like Gem 2, Sports Excellence. Our solution 1, Clear Your Mind, Move for a While, highlights the importance of physical activity that is needed by every person, adults, teens, and children combined. Gem 4, Personality Development. Our solution 2, Plan for a Day, a Week, or a Month, not one but all, highlights the importance of a productive day which leads to a boost in self and increase in confidence of knowing ahead of things. Gem 9, Skill Development. Our solution 3, Be Unique, Never the Same, acts as a perfect example of developing new skills. This way makes us more efficient and happier. Gem 5 and 8, Innovation and Creativity and Community and Care. Our solution 4, Real to Real Life, Positive Technology, combines these two to form a perfect example of using technology positively. The solution highlights the importance of human connection and increases creativity of a person outside the screen. With this, I would like to say thank you for your consideration and hope you like our presentation.
That was a great presentation from Team Whitefield. I now request judges, Ms. Suman Pai and Mr. Kunjumon, to take over the question answer session.
So thank you, Team Whitefield. That was a very good presentation, and especially integrating it with your 9-gem model. So thank you. I have actually one question. The 60 respondents, your target audience, how many classes did you cover? And, and then the 50% of them, was that where you conducted a survey after you took the, in the diagnosis? Was those 50% also from the 60 students or an additional population?
The 60%, the 60 was a sample population that we chose. And this 60 were not just students, but people of all ages. Since this is social media, which helps us connect. So all ages now use social media as a major part of their life. Keeping that in mind, we had this from the 60%, 50 people did an interview with us, the same amount of population. And with that, we had everyone take a survey and help us identify a problem as well as our solution.
I would like to add to my teammates' answer. So a problem is something that does not provide correct results or is not providing us the performance that we desire. And so I do not think there's a limit to any problem that we've mentioned in our PPT. So social media is used by people of all ages, and especially in this pandemic, we are using it to connect to the world around us. And so it's a very important topic. So there's no age limit to our surveyed respondents or our sample population.
Okay, thank you. So this clear your mind, move for a while also includes beyond meditation, also doing some physical exercise, does it?
Yes.
Okay. And in being unique, did you discover in your sample population what are the unique ideas that they learned about themselves, or what are the unique skills they developed?
Here,
sorry, Samisha, go on.
So here, be unique, never the same. Here we are trying to target the mental health of the population, saying that you do not have to be the same as what you see on the screen. Keeping that in mind, we ask them to do what they would like and not what they see on the screen and what everyone else is trying to do.
Adding on to that point, it wasn't only for the sample population which saw a growth in their skill set. It was personally for us too. Like if I take a personal example of mine, during this pandemic, I learned how to code, and that relates to all of our 60 sample population that we had. I can correlate to my teammates too. It wasn't only me. It was about my teammates also. Like Samiksha here, she started to paint. Tanisha over here, she started to public speak a lot, and she has also made her writing account. So that is how we all developed a skill set, a unique skill set here.
I would also like to add to my teammates' point that we use this solution to branch out a little and distance ourselves a little from the negative parts of social media. And as said by Ansh, we all found new skills that we did not know we had. We branched out and we have started performing activities not just individually but with our family. We have used this solution also to take out time for ourselves and our family and interacted a lot more than we would have in the past few months before this.
Thank you. Thank you. Kunjumon?
Yeah, thanks, Suman. Wonderful presentation. Compliments to you and your team. I have two questions. One is, can you elaborate on your NGT process? Who was the moderator and how did you go about it?
So for NGT, or the nominal group technique, we all virtually sat, we brainstormed for solutions, and after brainstorming, we all sat to vote on them.
So whichever ones we felt was the most important, were most appropriate to us, we voted on that. And with our teachers' guidance, Mr. Deep Kaur and our coordinators and all the higher authorities, we all sat together and we finally came out to a conclusion for our problems and for solutions too.
I would like
Very good.
like to add to my teammates' point. We had our principal, our former principal, as well as our new principal, Mr. Ashwini Saxena. He was very well aware of our project and what we aimed at doing, what we wanted to do, and he had a big role in our project. He gave us a lot of guidance and a lot of points that we could refer to. And after using the nominal group technique, we like Ansh said, we all gave our own opinions and where we voted for what we felt was best, and then we arrived at a unanimous decision.
My second question is, you have done a follow-up after 2 months in the month of July, just to check the results part of it actually. Do you intend to do it again to see whether the results are deteriorating or improving?
Yes, we take feedbacks and checkups so that we know how to grow ourselves. With that, to check with our whole sample population that how are they doing and is it affecting them. If it is not, then we will try to add more solutions to it so that they will grow together. Then they and us will grow together.
I would like to add on to my teammates' point. We use the Plan, Do, Check, Act, which is a quality tool, and it is a very helpful 4-step iterative management method that we used to make sure that we have improvement in all the processes that are taking place, that we do not miss out on anything, and that we have a clear-cut understanding of everything, that how we're executing our work, are we falling behind on anything, is something not working. So we plan to use the Plan, Do, Check, Act again until we reach desired results.
Adding on to my teammate's point, our aim for starting this project was not only to end it as a project, it was our long-term aim here. So throughout the journey, when we try to implement the solutions, we are learning from our mistakes also. Like 3 days ago, there was a documentary that was just released called The Social Dilemma that has also helped us find a path towards our actual goal that we have. Our goal is not only restricted to this project. Our goal is a very long-term goal. Maybe if the pandemic continues, if it does not continue, our goal does not end. Our goal is to minimize, to reduce.
Thank you, judges and Team Whitefield. Team Baliwadi looks at the emotional and mental well-being of all. They looked at this issue minutely and came up with an action plan. Here they are with their presentation.
Greetings to all. I am Sania from Baliwadi Smart Campus. My team members, the problem solvers, are Daksh, Bharat, and Gayatri. Our topic for this presentation is emotional and mental well-being. Now Bharat will be explaining you the problem in more detail.
Mental and emotional issues among students are very common nowadays. Here we have identified the main factors and the root causes of these issues. This is common against students of ages between 13 and 19 years and is due to the lack of self-acceptance. This happens because of peer pressure, constant comparison with others, puberty, etc. Over to you, Daksh.
Before we discuss more in detail, let me tell you about emotional and mental well-being. Emotional and mental well-being is a very vital concept about how we think, feel, behave, how life affects us, and how we cope with it. Nowadays, teenagers are experiencing mental and emotional issues. Because the teenagers are constantly compared, it is affecting their lives. Grades are going down of these students and they are not able to express themselves.
Till now, you must be wondering why we chose this topic, so let me tell you why. Mental and emotional well-being is really important among students nowadays, especially during this pandemic where everyone is at home. If a teen is facing some mental issues, it causes problems such as depression, anxiety, loneliness, trauma, neglect, energy level, and much more which can affect the life. This topic should be given adequate importance in order to live a healthy and happy life. Now, Gayatri will be explaining how we analyze the problem.
We used various methods to analyze the problem. One of them was the Ishikawa diagram. Here, the 4 main factors and the sub-factors are mentioned. Studies. Studies is one of the main factors of emotional and mental issues. From some of the other way, we get pressure from our parents or family members. Sometimes we compete with the toppers, and that creates an environment where we focus more on the competitors than studies. And when we compare ourselves to others, we end up focusing our energy on bringing them down instead of raising ourselves up. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is also one of the factors resulting mental and emotional illness. Abuse can be categorized into three types: mental, physical, and verbal. The word abuse affects the person more than what they actually mean. Each type of abuse results in mental issues. On the other hand, negative family relationships can cause stress, impact health, and even cause physical symptoms. Low self esteem. Low self esteem is a factor of mental issues. Having a low self esteem causes you to question your worth or ability. You end up demotivating yourselves. You question yourselves many a times before doing something and you aren't satisfied with what you do. If it has to be explained in one word, you aren't confident about yourselves. Physical illness. Having a physical illness causes them to differentiate from others, made fun of, or ignored. Some people of the society do not accept the way they are. After we identified the factors, me and my teammates discussed and found out the root cause.
We used Google Forms to gather information. A survey was made and sent to our classmates, friends, and family who are ages between 13 to 19. By this information, we found that 83.3% of the people do not love themselves the way they are. We were shocked by the results.
After analyzing our data in detail, we questioned ourselves with why. Why do all these main factors cause mental and emotional issues? By this, we found out that these main factors have one main cause, which is lack of self acceptance. Self acceptance is the state of complete acceptance of oneself. True self acceptance is embracing who you are without any qualifications, conditions, or exceptions. The main cause of mental issues is lack of self acceptance. Accepting yourself, loving yourself, caring for your mind and body plays a vital role in your life. Some people may find it hard to accept themselves the way they are. But nothing is impossible in this world if you're willing to believe it. What self acceptance does is open up more possibilities of succeeding because you aren't fighting yourself along the way.
If there is a problem, there is definitely a solution. Me and my team discussed about the solution for the root cause, which is self-acceptance. We came up with five main solutions, which are positive self-talk, write a journal, meditate every day, and make a happy jar.
We made a timeline which consists of the solutions and the reviews given by the students of our class 9th A. Here, as you can see, in the month of April, we identified the problem and discussed the problem in detail. In the month of May, we started implementing our solutions. The first solution implemented was positive self talk and journal writing. Here, we conducted webinars related to positive self talk. The students seemed to enjoy it, but they weren't so reluctant about journal writing. In the month of June, we implemented self-care checklist. Our classmates found the self-care checklist helpful as it prioritized their needs. In the month of July, we implemented meditation every day. Some students found it hard to meditate at first, but gradually they found it really calming and peaceful. In the month of August, we implemented the solution of making a happy jar. Everyone seemed to love making a happy jar, and it helped them in staying cheerful and happy at all times. In the month of September, we will be conducting one final webinar. Here, the students will be sharing their feelings regarding these solutions.
We implemented the solutions and found satisfying results which we would like to present to you all. We divided our solution implementations into 4 different stages, which were positive self-talk and journal writing. Here we conducted a few webinars which were related to positive self-talk, and later we implemented journal writing. Meditate every day. The students were told to meditate every day for a month and inculcate this habit on an everyday basis. Self-care checklist. Our classmates were asked to create a self-care checklist where they fit their own needs and personality. Make a happy jar. This solution was the most loved from all the students. They had to make a happy jar where they would have to write one good thing which happened to them that day, fold it up, and put it in a jar. Whenever they feel sad or not up to the mark, they can pick one out and read it. Daksh will now tell you all the results we got from the implementation of the solutions.
At the end, after all the solutions were implemented, we conducted a webinar where we found out of 25 children, 20 of them were benefited immensely with these solutions. A few students found this quite helpful, but not as much as the rest 20 of them. Our classmates now follow all the solutions implemented by us and say that it has helped them to discover and become aware of their abilities and themselves. Overall, these solutions were a success. Thank you everyone for your attention throughout the presentation. Thank you Principal Sir for choosing us for this competition and giving us the opportunity to be a part of Quality Circle. Thanks to the respective teachers and coordinators for guiding us throughout the presentation. We had a great pleasure working on Quality Circle. Have a great day ahead. Stay home, stay safe.
A good presentation, Team Baliwadi. Now over to the judges. I request Ms. Suman Pai and Mr. Kunjumon to take over the question answer session.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Okay, I just have one very big question actually. How did you all come up on this idea of emotional and mental and emotional well-being?
Ma'am, may I answer this?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. So one day I was talking to one of my friends, and I found out that she has been going through quite a lot of problems, especially during this pandemic related to mental problems. For example, overthinking. And after that, I did help her out, and gradually, I thought that I would ask more of my friends. So this I kept on asking more and more people, more and more students of our age, until it went to a level that this had to be solved. So then we discussed this amongst our teammates, and we decided that we shall be taking this topic.
Okay. Which class are you in? Which grade?
We are in grade 9, ma'am.
Grade 9. Okay. Thank you. And, in your presentation, you said in September you will be conducting a webinar, but you presented the results. So the results are of the webinar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They are.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Kunjaman?
Yeah. Thank you, Suman. Compliments to the team for the presentation. Nice one. I have two questions, basically.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Subjects like, self-acceptance, then your mental wellness, etc. It's a very, very complex subject, actually. You are seeing what is happening in the TV news nowadays on account of somebody's death or suicide, whatever, etc. So I was wondering, you students in 9th standard picking up this subject, Suman rightly asked, was there anybody guiding you who is an expert in this subject?
May I answer, sir?
Yeah, please.
So in our school, we have our life skill teacher who is certified in this subject.
Okay.
So she helped us a lot.
She's a counselor, is it?
We being teenagers, we were knowing what problems teenagers go through.
Okay. Anyone else to contribute to the answer?
Sir, may I?
Please.
Yes, sir. So as Gayatri mentioned that we had a LS teacher, Priyanka ma'am. She guided us through this, as well as other teachers who are a part of our school. And we had a few meetings with her, and as again she mentioned that we ourselves are teenagers and we have taken the topic for only students between 13 to 19. So we know what actually happens inside the mind of a teenager, as we ourselves have experienced at one point of time one of these issues.
You have shown a data, very alarming
Sir,
kind
may
of
I add a
data.
point?
Please, please, please.
So I also took help from my parents. They also helped me to figure out the root cause of the problem. And also I talked to my friends who are of my age, and they also told me that we also have this problem. So I helped them out with the solutions. That's it from my end.
Okay. You were showing a data in your presentation saying 83% of people do not love themselves. Is this a universal data, or is it a data pertaining to your sample?
Sir, can you please repeat?
You have shown a data in your presentation saying that 83% do not love themselves. Is this percentage based on your sample data, or is it a generic data from universal data?
Sir, it is a generic data. We had conducted a survey, as it was mentioned in the PPT, that we had shared this amongst many students of ages between 13 to 19, including our classmates. And these are the results we had gotten.
Okay. One last question is,
Yes.
you have talked about the solutions where, you said that making a happy jar, doing meditation, etc., as part of the solutions. How you are monitoring these activities actually? Is it based on somebody telling, I have meditated, I have made a jar, or is there any cross mechanism to check this, the truthfulness of these activities actually?
So may I answer this?
Please.
Yes, sir. So we actually, after these, when we had at the start of the month the webinar telling them that this is our task for this month, in the mid of the month we used to have a webinar where we used to ask them that how have you been coping up with all of this? Is it helping you? And the students were expected to be honest, as it is related to your mental health. And when it comes to your mental health, it is very very vital. So we were sure that they were the ones who were telling us that yes, and that they were giving a review. So yes, sir, that is how we did it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Thank you,
sir.
Sanya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, judges and Team Baliwadi. The presentation by all our teams were very good, which has made the jury members' task challenging. We will now allow time to the jury for deliberation. Today is a big day. It's a day to celebrate our success and achievements. We started with a few, but now we are many. Not only in numbers, but also in talents and creativity. Congratulations, each member of GSF family. All your efforts and accomplishments. GSF completes its teenage years and turns 20 this year. Happy Foundation Day to one and all. jury members have reached a final decision. But before I announce the winners, I would like to request the jury to say a few words, starting with Mr. Sailesh Kodekar, Mr. Darshan Singh, Ms. Suman Pai, and Mr. Kunjumon.
Yeah, I think first of all, it was a wonderful presentation by all the teams. Okay, what I like about the presentation is the challenges which the team took across the subject and the improvement points and resolving it in a very structured manner by using various tools. I strongly believe that such opportunities will further enhance your solution-oriented mindset. And mark this word, the solution-oriented mindset, which will be a key enabler on the journey towards excellence. I would also like to compliment Ratin and his team and all who supported him for creating this learning and sharing platform for the schools across the globe. One thing which I always believe, excellence in education requires the right input and dedication of students, teachers, parents. If one of them fails to participate, the balance is thrown off and the maximum results are not achieved. So it is very important that balance has to maintain and everyone has to participate. Last but not the least, a message to all. To be improved is to change. To be perfect is to change often. So I urge that we need to have that approach of changing, challenging the paradigm and changing often. Thank you very much to all of you. It was a wonderful, enriching experience.
Thank you. I was impressed with the quality of the presentations and the projects, and I applaud the team members for their teamwork, participation, involvement, and commitment. All the teams spoke with facts and evidence in resolving the problems and issues faced. I'd just like to share 3 learning points that participants could consider when working on projects. First is spend more time on problem understanding and interpretation. Do not rush into the causes and the solutions. Understand what is the problem, why is there a problem, how serious is the problem in terms of its impact on the stakeholders or the target groups. And try to be as detailed, as in-depth, as specific as possible in this situational analysis. The second lesson is about target setting. After you have done your situational analysis, set targets or goals for your project. And these goals and targets should be SMART targets. Targets are important as they challenge us to achieve higher levels of excellence and measure your results against the target set. The third learning point is about intangible results. The fact that it's intangible doesn't mean that the intangible results should always be presented in general statements. You can also quantify the intangible results. For example, by doing a survey and finding out what % of students or stakeholders have benefited from the project and in what ways. This would, provide a better sense when you present in terms of the impact you have made for the intangible results. In conclusion, I'll just like to thank all of you for having me here. I really enjoyed myself and would like to wish you all the best. Thank you.
So congratulations, students, whether you have won an award or not. Congratulations for participating, and all of you did a tremendous job. It was difficult for the judges to come to a conclusion. I congratulate the teachers and mentors who have helped you in this journey of making, first of all, in identifying a QC project and then putting it all together. I'm simply amazed at the presentations that you have made. Not only is it structured, but the visuals that you've used, the design, I really think that you are at an adult level, functioning at an adult level already. And what a privilege that is. And thank you to your parents for supporting you in this venture, in this QC project. And I personally also want to thank Ratin and his team for recommending my name, for requesting me. And as usual, I always like to see what new initiatives that GIS is taking. And all the best, and wish you all a safe and healthy future going ahead. Thank you.
Let me wholeheartedly compliment the GSF and the business excellence team under Ratin for introducing quality circle activity at school level, where young minds are groomed, inspired, and made. In fact, you have removed a myth from the minds that QCs are only done at production units. I'm sure that effective use of QC at schools can bring enormous change in the very essence of education, that is building the right attitude and perception towards life. Secondly, a lot of appreciation to GSF for providing a platform for students to showcase and highlight their QC learning, successful project implementation, and sharing their experience to a wider audience. I'm really impressed with the preparation made by GSF, covering the focused messages from the leadership, those curtain raisers, teasers, students' engagement and connect through those drawings. You have a fantastic IT team. Compliments to them. They really did a professional work. Congratulating all the winning teams, but for me, the teams that participated all are winners. Compliment the teams for their highly refined and focused presentation. One or two small points for me, actually. Maybe Ratin can look at it. If it is possible to have a standard pattern of presentation. For example, I'll just give you a small example. Names of a QC is very important. Every QC got a name. So if every group got a name, I think that will be good. Secondly, the person who is going to speak, if he can be identified by somebody saying that, okay, I will take over. Majority of the teams have done that, but not all. And I hope you people are a member of this WCTQEE, which is a World Council for Total Quality Excellence in Education, which does a lot of work for QC activities in school. Concluding, wishing GSF all the very best and look forward to see GSF evolving as a role model in the education sector in the near future. Thank you so much, and thanking me for including me as a jury. Thank you so much.
Thank you, jury members. Those were valuable feedback for all of us, which will help our students and organizations to achieve higher degree of excellence in times to come. And now for the results that you've all been waiting for. Win or lose, each one of the teams are winners, as you have definitely learned something new. So without further ado, I'll start with the individual award first. So the individual presenter, the best presenter, which was a tough decision for the judges, goes to Ansh Gulati from Team Whitefield. The best topic goes to Team Baliwadi. Congratulations, Baliwadi. The next is the best presentation, and this goes to Team Tokyo. Congratulations, Team Tokyo. And now for the QC awards. Starting with the silver award, this award goes to Team Kuala Lumpur. Congratulations, Kuala Lumpur. And next up is the Gold Award. And this goes to Smart Campus Punggol. Congratulations, Smart Campus Punggol. And finally, the very first Global Excellence Day Quality Circle Platinum Award goes to Team Whitefield. We've achieved so much today and gained a lot ourselves too. I now call upon Mr. Kaustav, architect of Global Excellence Day and our Deputy CEO, to share his views and give the vote of thanks.
Hello, everyone. First of all, let me congratulate all the winners and participants of this two-day event, not just for innovative exchange of ideas, but also for enthusiastic participation. All our junior and senior students have zealously dived into this entire event, which makes our framework truly excellent. These last 2 days showed that the Global Excellence Day is not just a terminology, but a way of life for us at GSF. Once again, congratulations to all, and thank you for being part of our family. We really appreciate your contribution to make our Foundation Day worthy of remembering. Secondly, I would like to thank the jury for taking time to come and encouraging all our students in their journey towards excellence. Sirs and ma'ams, your advice is highly valuable and greatly appreciated. As our chairman, Mr. Atul Temurnikar, said in his opening speech, the idea of focusing on excellence came from our patron, Mr. N.R. Narayana Murthy, who suggested we should find excellence in what we do. This idea took root a decade ago and has now grown into a vast, fruitful tree. Global Schools Foundation has done exemplary work in the field of excellence and quality for the last 18 years. And today, GSF has become a fountainhead of educational excellence with 152 national and international quality awards under its belt. This milestone would not have been possible without the strong and continued support of our teachers, parents, and most importantly, our students. And we at GSF are highly motivated to continue to do what is best for our students. Challenges like COVID-19 pandemic will come, but how we deal with them determines the true excellence of our organization. Lastly, I congratulate the Global Center for Education Excellence, its team under the leadership of Mr. Ratin, for making the Foundation Day celebration a big success. Such a showcase of our achievements is a good way to remind ourselves why we do what we are doing and give us the enthusiasm to continue on this journey. Let us end this two-day event on a high note, as we remember once again that our mission of achieving excellence is in offering holistic and all-rounded learning experience to students who will benefit from it for their lives. On behalf of the entire GSF family, I thank all the viewers, participants, and the organizing committee for putting up such a great show. Thanks again to the judges for being with us today. Together, let us continue to inspire each other on this journey of excellence and reach newer heights in the days, months, and years to come. All the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaustav, for your constant encouragement and support for quality and excellence initiatives and aligning it with student learning outcomes. Before we close today's proceeding, we would also like to thank Mr. Atul, Mr. Kaustav, Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Ms. Sunita Jaisingh, Ms. Vaishali Borde, Ms. Sarita Alurkar and her entire team, Ms. Rupali Karekar, Mr. Vishal Gera, Ms. Neda Haq, Ms. Richa Kumar, Mr. Nick O, Ms. Vani Sarga, Ms. Radhika V, Mr. Hisham, Mr. Azhar, Mr. Alvin, and Mr. Shiva, and all our country heads, Mr. Amol Vedya, Mr. Manoj Nair, Mr. Rajiv Bansal, Mr. Prashant Bafna, and all our principals, staff, and students, without whose unconditional support, the success of today's event would not have been possible. GCE team shares its heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Today's event is finished, of course, but it doesn't really stop here, and it will soon be time to thinking about organizing the next one. I've enjoyed today's enormously. I hope you all have too. It has been a wonderful day celebrating the Foundation Day and the Global Excellence Day with the team seniors. On behalf of GCEE and the organizing team, I thank you for your active participation and waiting to see you all next year, same time, same day. Goodbye, alvida, sayonara, wadaya, salamat tinggal, shabak hai. This is your host and host, Jacinta from Team GCE signing off.